the biggest news. Warzone Ranked confirmed. Season 3, baby.
We're in Season 3. This is going to be a ranked mode going forward. So, like, next summer, we're still going to have Warzone Ranked, and that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Warzone 2 is going to be around for quite a while, so yeah.
We'll have this game minimum of 2 years, so.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are absolutely live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 303. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I am joined by Tanner, an interesting colored Yeti, which I hate. What is that?
The same one I've been drinking out of for a year.
Just noticed it. Maybe because it was in your hand. You fat fuck. Imagine drinking water. Anyway, welcome to the show. If you're new, we have timestamps. You can skip to whatever section you want. So keep that in mind. Today, God bless, finally, we have new content to talk about. Season 2, the launch, the beginning.
God bless America.
The Season 2 that has been delayed. The delay is over. The wait is over. The game is out. Now, the wait's kind of over because it's real buggy. A lot of people crashing for a variety of reasons, which we will, of course, get into. That was, of course, always going to be the case. There's never a new season that actually works on day one. So that's fine. But we have a lot to talk about today. We did, in fact, get the patch notes along with the season update, which is also currently live. And there is a lot to talk about. And some things that were not very clear based on the blog posts we had gotten in the past 2 weeks are now much more clear. And so we will be talking about a lot of those things as well. But first, we have a couple of announcements. Welcome to our new gold patrons, Little Panda and Dakota C. Let's absolutely fucking go. Thanks, boys. Welcome aboard to our new gold patrons. We also, more importantly, got a new annual Damascus patron. He went straight for gold, man. This guy went straight for gold goods. He said, you know what? I like this podcast. I'm going to invest in bonus eps for 60 bonus episodes, plus ad-free early access to the public eps every single fucking episode for an entire year. And he saved 16%.
Yeah.
Or whatever the max is allowed for the annual discount, which is what we enabled. I think it's 16%. We would discount more, we wouldn't, but we can't. Goods, welcome aboard, dude. Our new annual Damascus patron, patreon.com/the Dropshot. 5 bonus episodes a month, early access and ad-free episodes to all of our public episodes as well at every tier. That is the best way to support the show. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. We also got a new YouTube member yesterday, Biggie Smalls, re-upping, friend of the pod for 3 months now. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. Our YouTube members right now get VOD access on YouTube. So as soon as the live stream ends, if you want to watch the VOD, it's unedited. There's breaks in there and shit. But if you wanted to be able to see those, or if you just wanted to support the program, you could become a YouTube member. We'll be fleshing that out more fairly soon, actually. So now's a pretty good time to join, but that YouTube membership will get better, and I think we might even do more tiers, but we'll get into that later. So Biggie, thank you very much. Our new patrons, thank you guys very much as well. We have not done any Patreon episodes for this month yet, but we had warned you guys that was going to be the case. We are waiting for season 2 to be out, which it now is. So we're going to play it, and we will have a bunch of more content and topics to cover on that content. We wanted to wait for that to do our Patreon episodes. In the meantime, though, pretty sure tomorrow we are going to be recording a Q&A or behind the scenes, probably Q&A, for our platinum and above patrons. So, for those of you guys are those tiers, you can expect that probably by Friday. And then the rest of the episodes will be coming next week, and obviously. So we'll have a lot to talk about now that season 2 is, of course, out. And we did get a fair amount of new content. Also, for the topic of the patrons, this Friday, we're doing our hangout, our Damascus hangout, which we do every month. We are going to be doing on Friday at, I believe, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
You can check the schedule. Once again, by the way, first of all, join the fucking Discord. Second of all, if you're in the Discord, it's linked everywhere. And if the link doesn't work for you, I got like I saw one or two people saying this somewhere. I don't remember where. But if it doesn't work for you, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you, because the link works. The link that's posted everywhere, it simply works. So I don't know how to invite you if that doesn't work for some reason. It might be because it's like not safe for work.
I think it would say that. I think it says that if that's the issue.
I don't know. I don't know. So you could try logging in on like a browser rather than using the iStore, the iTunes, the Apple app. Stop using Apple products. Instead of using that Discord app, try opening the link in a browser. And then if that still doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. But anyway, join the fucking Discord. There's an events tab in the Discord if you are in there, and it shows our events every week. I just wanted to remind you guys of that, because apparently no one knew that. But every Monday, we put our weekly schedule there in that events tab, and it auto configures to your time zone. So if it says it's at 3 a.m., that's because you live in Australia or something. But that is correct. It auto adjusts to your time zone. And the Damascus Hangouts are in there as well, so you can check on that. We are going to be doing some customs, MW2 customs. We got a bunch of new party modes, which may or may not work in customs. The last time we tried to play customs, I think roughly 45% of the games actually like worked.
Oh,
and then
I forgot about having
we just had to requeue.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not an issue, but if it isn't an issue, there will be some other issue that we can contend with. But we're going to try anyway, and that will be fun. We've got like infected, gun game, all kinds of goofy shit we can try, and then we'll do some normal games too. But we'll get more into that selection today as we go through the patch notes. Another little announcement, by the way, I don't know if we did ever say this, but we are live streaming exclusively on YouTube now. You can just go to the dropshot.com/live. That's the best viewing experience, I would argue. But you could also watch us live stream on YouTube. They're the same thing. We're not streaming on Twitch anymore. So if you're going to our Twitch page expecting us to be live there, we won't be. We're on YouTube. Search for the Dropshot podcast on Google or YouTube or wherever. That's where we're live streaming if you're interested in that. And then that's also where we upload the video versions of the podcast. If you like to watch video episodes. Which is kind of nice actually, because we will pull up notes and shit, and I'll try and like highlight what we're actually talking about so you can kind of follow along. But also it's nice to look at screenshots we're talking about, or looking at, like, we'll pull up the map and then see how things relate to each other while we're talking about them. So it is kind of nice to actually watch an episode as a listener, viewer rather, sometimes. But anyway, yeah, we're exclusive on YouTube now, not on Twitch. So Tanner's been getting a lot of offline Twitch follows, I guess.
Yeah, I get like a few offline Twitch follows like every week, so I don't know. We should probably just take that out of our like video descriptions and stuff, actually.
Yeah, we wrote that down.
Yeah,
I might do that.
We haven't streamed there in a long time now, so I don't know if it's like new people finding us and you're not realizing that, so you're just assuming we're on Twitch still. We don't really stream there anymore. Well, we don't at all.
We don't at all.
Yeah, so follow us on YouTube instead. You can subscribe for free there.
Yep. And then last announcement, we are trying to get rid of our merch. So all of our merchandise is 50% off with coupon code BLOWOUT. One word. Every single thing on our website, 50% off. Use coupon code BLOWOUT for 50% off. That coupon code will not expire, and it will apply to every single thing we have in our store.
Yeah.
Now, we have not restocked anything. We just want to get rid of inventory we've had for months now.
Yeah.
So whatever it says is in stock is in stock. So we don't have like large t-shirts, I don't think.
We do,
Tell
actually.
us more about this.
Yeah,
Tanner.
so we have some hoodies left, probably a total of 8 or so. Unfortunately, most of them are weird sizes. Those are, I think, all smalls and mediums, I'm pretty sure. So that's a little iffy. Buy them for your children or something. You know, we're a G-rated podcast. Your kid can wear that to elementary school. It's fine. Don't worry about that. But the shirts, I believe we have 9 of them left of our first release t-shirt. Every single one we have left is large because we ordered a fucking ton of them. So large t-shirts are still left. They're really soft. They're great. So yeah, 50% off. We want to just, the sale is going to run until all of this is gone. Hopefully we can get rid of all these weird sizes we have left. And then we're going to think about if we want to do a merch drop again or not. We really haven't decided. But
yeah,
for now, we just want this stuff gone. So yeah, 50% off. Use the code BLOWOUT at checkout.
Yes. And by the way, to go to our shop, you can go to thedropshot.com, our website. You can find links to everything we have there, including our store. Or you could just go to thedropshot.com/store. Yes. I think /shop works as well. Let me test it. No. Thedropshot.com/store. You can find all of our shit there. And by the way, one more announcement on that topic. If you order an item and you don't add at least one sticker to your cart, we will take your money. We will not be shipping you
Correct.
your order.
Yeah, we will take the money.
So you're not allowed to just buy a t-shirt. You're getting a goddamn sticker also. So add it to the fucking cart. And use coupon code BLOWOUT. It's not automatic 50% off. I'm sure that's possible, but we just did the coupon code instead, I guess. Maybe we'll change that because I don't know how long we're going to want to be announcing this shit. But I guess we would announce a sale anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, use coupon code BLOWOUT for 50.
Yeah.
Or better yet, don't and buy some merch anyway.
Yeah, you can buy it
too
at full price. That'd be great, actually.
That would be ideal, in fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, go to thedropshot.com/store and check out the merch. It's good merch. The only reason we haven't sold it is because it's like, yeah, weird sizes.
And we had so many of the other one. Yep.
And we simply just ordered far too many on our first launch and too many on our second as well. A little bit. So anyway, other than that, that is it for the announcements. So let's get into this bitch. Season 2 patch notes. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
There it is, buddy.
New fucking content. New content for Call of Duty. Holy shit.
The game perfect now?
It's been a while. No, the game is not perfect.
Really?
We'll get into it. So
Okay.
we got our patch notes at callofduty.com/patch notes. This was posted today by Studio Teams. So I wish that said Raven Software, but we'll see what the caliber of these patch notes is. As usual, I have not looked at these yet. I want to experience them for the first time. I am familiar with a lot of this shit because I've been watching streams and going on my Twitter application.
Oh, you've been on the Twitter app, huh?
I've been on the TL. I've been in the TL a little bit, so I know about a lot of this, but not all of it because I haven't, as I said, gone through the patch notes yet. So we're going to experience this together. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, Season 2 patch notes. Holy shit.
Warzone 2.0, Season 02. Wow. The second season of the 2.0 variant. I'm excited.
Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 released in 2022, Season 2.
Yeah.
Love it. Global is the first header here. Welcome to Season 2. We will detail all the content. I don't care about this.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Next section, Battle Pass. An all-new Battle Pass arrives with Season 2, which includes 3 new weapons and plenty of rewards. Okay. Events. Path of the Ronin event.
Don't care.
We've gone through all of this. This is just kind of an overview of things they've already basically talked about. Progression. They're talking about the new prestige ranks, weapons. This is just a copy and paste of what they've said already. So just as a quick reminder, the ISO Hemlock AR is one of the 3 new weapons. The KV Broadside Shotgun is another of the weapons, and that's it. Because then there's a reskinned knife, which I refuse to talk about ever, and a crossbow, which is irrelevant as well. So this heading I want to read. Weapon tuning update.
Oh. Okay.
And they have a little blurb here. A little Raven-style blurb. If we can zoom in a little bit more, Tanner, on that sucker. A little control fucking scroll wheel on that bitch. Not that I'm reading off of yours, but other people probably are. Weapon tuning update. Here's what they say. Our goal for weapon tuning has always been to deliver an experience that provides players with deep customization for their favorite weapons, building a unique loadout for a precise personal playstyle. Okay, that's a great goal, and that does imply that we're actually going to get detailed patch notes about what is changing with a weapon. Because if I wanted to make something deeply personal, I would need to know what things are doing to personalize them.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm sure that's the way it is, yeah.
So we'll fucking see for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure the way it is, yeah.
After examining weapon tuning in Season 1, we want to offer more value for players by elevating the pros and reducing the cons of tuning attributes. Okay. So this is exactly... Okay. This is exactly the direction they shouldn't have gone, but we'll get into that. We are committed to making the system more rewarding for players going forward without sacrificing overall weapon balance across the game. The results of this adjustment will generally be felt as an increase in the overall impact of attachments, with the effects of attachment tuning becoming more significant. Okay, so that's interesting. My first thought is, I wonder how this will affect weapon tuning. They're probably going to say more about it. So let's just move on for now. Tuning balances. Tuning has been enabled for laser attachments. So this is the sliders they're talking about, by the way. This isn't like a weapon balance thing. This is like specifically the mechanic of weapon tuning. So you can tune lasers now, okay. Tuning sliders have been updated for numerous attachments. That's interesting. Some beneficial tuning attribute magnitudes have been increased, and harmful tuning attribute magnitudes have been decreased. So you're going to get more upside by sliding the slider to the right side, for example, and then you're going to suffer less downside from the other end of the spectrum. Cool. So, I mean, I guess that's fine. But again, when I have to pick between aim down sight time and flinch resistance, or hip fire accuracy for my RPK, then I'm just going to slide the slider all the way to aim down sight time. And now I'm going to get even more benefit out of that and even less harm to my hip fire accuracy, which I don't care at all about anyway. So you could increase the harm and it doesn't matter. That's the problem with the weapon tuning. There are actually no choices to be made the vast majority of the time, because it's always just a no-brainer. That's the fundamental flaw, I think, with the tuning. Maybe that changed.
I also wonder.
Did say they changed some things.
I also wonder if the graph is actually updated correctly with how this was changed.
That's a great question as well. That's a great question as well.
Because we may have something now where you do want to max out certain attachments, whereas before it's usually like whatever. If you want like faster ADS, you put it to like 80%, 70% on the ADS side. If you go up to 100, you got too many harmful things happening on the other end of the spectrum, basically too many downsides. So that may change that, where a lot of these you want to just like max out now.
Yeah, I would hope that's the case also, because before season 2, maybe also now, but before season 2, if I wanted to get like maximum aim down sight time for an attachment, that would usually mean sliding the slider only 80% toward aim down sight time.
Yeah.
Because then if you go beyond that and you look at the radial graph, you actually see your aim down sight time goes back down again as if you tuned it to like 60%, but you're also incurring a bunch of negatives that you weren't at 60%. Like, it's really stupid. So yeah, we'll see how that works. But anyway, Season 1 pro-tuned blueprints have received performance adjustments. Okay. So now into weapon balancing.
Oh, cool. We should have detailed stats here.
Yeah. I saw a tweet about this already.
Yes, I saw the
and
same tweet.
I'll highlight that once we get to it. Weapon balancing. Assault rifles. The M13B. Increased damage at mid-range and increased upper torso damage. So keep in mind, this is not in the Warzone section. This is in the general section. So the M13 has been buffed for Warzone and multiplayer.
That's why there are no stats, probably. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because it's still the same base health, right?
It would still be the same. It still should be the same values, yeah.
Okay.
That's what you would think. But this is, of course, Activision. They can't do anything. So what's wrong with this patch note? What does increased damage at mid-range even mean?
What range?
First of all,
how much damage? Where?
Yeah.
Where on the body?
Yeah. So just terrible. And then increased upper torso damage. So it's unforgivable that in 2023 we are not getting actual values and stats. Increased damage by how much and at what range is. So if this was a Raven software patch note, it would say something like increased damage between 21 and 36 meters from 21 to 23. That would be an acceptable patch note. Yeah. Increased damage at mid-range is not an acceptable patch note. And then increased upper torso damage obviously isn't either. We have no values. However, M13 needed a buff, so this is good. And that might make that gun pretty fucking viable, depending, of course, on what the magnitude of these changes are, especially on the Resurgence. Because it handles quick, it has very little recoil, has a pretty high fire rate, and has a good reload time, too.
Yeah, it does.
I could see this being a pretty solid little primary for Resurgence now. Maybe.
I checked out a few streams this morning. I saw some people using it. Jake was using it when we played 2 games, yeah.
And what else this makes me think, if sniping ever becomes relevant again, this makes this a lot better as a sniper support weapon as well.
Yeah.
Because like mid-range AR damage is probably the biggest thing you'd be using an AR in like regular BR for as sniper support is like that mid-range damage range. So that would make this really good, but that would be contingent on sniping being relevant. So anyway, next, Cast-Off 762. This is the AK. Small damage reduction and added additional long-range damage fall-off. So they did the kilo. They kiloed the Kastov 7.62.
Kastov, yep.
Which no one was using anyway, I don't think. But yeah.
It was one of the meta guns, but no one was using anything besides an RPK, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. The Lockman 5.56, which is of course the MP5, right? Wait.
No,
is it?
That's the Lockman 5.56. The Lockman 5.56 assault rifle.
What the fuck?
Come on, man. You have Orion on it.
The MP5 is a Lockman too, isn't it?
It's a Lockman sub because it's a submachine gun. 5.56 is a rifle, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
In Lockman 5.56, increased semi-auto rate of fire.
Don't even put that in. I don't want that on the patch notes, actually. Leave that out next time.
These are the things they'll add into the patch notes, and then they'll forget to mention that there's like a new gun in the game. Just classic Infinity Ward patch note, so don't care at all, but cool, I guess. M4, increased semi-auto rate of fire. Again, who the fuck is using an M4 in semi? Why did they do this? Can you help me understand why they thought this needed to happen?
I cannot. No clue.
They're not even the tac rifles or battle rifles, whatever the fuck, that get like different damage values. No one is using these in semi-auto.
I didn't know you could put it in semi. I've never even tried to because I didn't think about it. Yeah.
This is so insane. I don't understand the impetus for this change. Who thought, you know what? Someone somewhere once at an Activision development studio said, hey guys, what do you think about increasing the semi-auto rate of fire of the M4?
Yeah.
And then that guy's boss said, green light, go ahead and spend time on that change. I don't understand at all. What would make you think of that? I don't get it. I'm flabbergasted, but let's move on.
Yeah, maybe like Straight Shot said, if like people are trying to make it like a DMR build or something dumb, put like a long range scope on it. Some hardcore playing LARPer probably. It's like, oh, I want to put a sniper scope on this and the longest barrel and take 4 seconds to aim down sight. I want to be able to single tap quicker.
There's literally a whole category of guns to do that with, though. Like, why the fuck would that person do it on an M4? This is just outrageous. So here's what I want you guys to keep in mind as we continue reading these patch notes. Keep in mind that the devs spent time increasing the semi-auto rate of fire on the Lockman 5.56 and the M4, and they could have spent that time doing other things. I want you to keep that in mind as we continue going through these patch notes. I just keep that in mind. So let's move on. STB 5.56. This gun fucks. Fixed an issue with the single tap mod magazine attachment, would cause the weapon to deal considerably less damage to the upper left leg. Okay. How do they know that this is an issue and they don't know? Okay. Yeah, let's move on.
They knew that was an issue, but they didn't know perks weren't working for the first 3 months of Warzone. Oh, what? They weren't working? I didn't know that.
Oh, there's a bird's eye bug? They didn't know the bird's eye bug was a thing either.
Yeah.
But they know that there's a bug with the single tap mod on one particular gun to the upper left leg. Holy shit. I don't get it, but whatever. Battle rifles. Next category here. Lockman 7.62. Decreased full auto head and torso damage. Increased semi-auto upper torso damage. Increased semi-auto rate of fire. So here it makes sense to increase the semi-auto rate of fire for the battle rifles because most of them are intended to be used in semi-auto. That's fine. Don't do it on a fucking M4. It doesn't matter. We're not actually going to read all of these, but we are going to just broadly talk about whether they were kind of buffed or nerfed or just changed. I would say, does it even matter for a battle rifle? This definitely got buffed though. I reduced full auto recoil.
Yeah, the Lockman 7.62. I always thought a multiplayer was really good. Actually, that thing in fully auto was one of the easiest guns to use. Yeah, actually.
So and it got buffed. So that's
pretty much got. Yeah, I mean they did decrease the head and torso damage in full auto, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, reduced recoil though. Yeah. F-Tac Recon, the worst gun in the game. Sped up the ADS time. That's good. Largely buffed it, I would say. Still going to be dog shit and miserable,
Reduce
but there you go.
Full auto recoil. That was a gun you don't use in full auto anyways.
You definitely not, yeah.
It blows through that too quick. That was like that's one for sure you do semi-auto for.
Yeah. SO14. I think this was one of them that one-tapped in core to the head. Oh, and now it doesn't.
I don't think so. Did it?
I'm pretty sure one of these did.
Maybe in semi-auto, yeah, actually.
I think it did, and they reduced the semi-auto headshot damage, so now it probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, now it definitely doesn't if it did.
That's a good gun regardless. It was really good.
Oh, this was that one with very little recoil, actually.
This one I actually thought was one of the most broken guns in the game. Because you could throw a big mag on this thing, too. The SO14 is actually really good at multiplayer.
It was fun. Yeah,
that was another fun gun to use.
I would say it got buffed overall, though. And then the TAC V was the other full auto battle rifle. And this got nerfed a lot. Which it probably needed by comparison to all the other battle rifles. It got really nerfed, though. So, there you go. Handguns.
Like how they put decreased full auto head damage. Next line. Decreased full auto head damage.
Fantastic.
So I wonder if one of those lines is supposed to actually be something else, and now we don't know what that change is. Probably. They probably decrease something else.
Yeah. Handguns, X13 auto. Reduce damage while akimbo, and then increased a bunch of damages and the damage distance. So it's going to be more advantageous to use this not akimbo. Which I do anyway, actually. On my multiplayer kit, I use an X13 auto, just one, as like a little backup without having to use overkill.
So no X12 change.
And now it's better at that.
No P890 akimbo change at all. Just the X13 autos. Cool.
Yeah, which is not great.
That may actually be a decent gun using just one. I remember people talking about that a long time ago. Saying that may be the move with that specific pistol, and it may be now because they reduce the damage while using akimbo. Because like they increase close range damage, they increase the damage distance. That thing using a single pistol instead of the akimbos with that big mag, it would actually probably be pretty damn good now.
Yeah, that's
a good one to try out.
In multiplayer, that's already what I do, and now it's even better at that. Just don't use akimbo. And you basically have an SMG as your secondary without having to run overkill for it. That's really good. So there you go. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Launchers. The Strela removes activation distance for projectile. So you can fire it at your own feet, I guess. What that means.
I didn't even know.
And it will now explode at any range. That's probably good, too. You shot it like too close. I don't know. Whatever. RPG. Small increase to splash damage and reduction to the damage range of that splash. That's probably good.
They buffed the best launcher in the game, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, light machine guns, RPK. Here we go. I'm going to read all these ones because this is the talk of the town. Small reduction to ADS movement speed, so strafe speed. Okay. That doesn't really matter very much in Warzone. It does, actually, but for this gun in this game, reduced mid and long range damage by an amount, who knows. Reduced damage ranges. This doesn't matter at all because you're always shooting at your longest damage range anyway. It sort of matters, but not really. Small increase to ADS time. So now you aim down sight a little slower. So what am I noticing here? Number one.
Multiplier changes?
No multiplier changes, but mainly no recoil changes.
Yep. Yeah. Didn't even think about
that. Which I think might be the thing they should have done first if they wanted to nerf this.
Yeah, wait a second. Have there been any recoil changes on any of these guns yet? There haven't been, huh? It's all damage.
Well, the full auto recoil for some of those other guns,
yeah. Yeah, the guns that don't matter, I guess. Yeah, they added more recoil for the guns that don't matter, but then Like they didn't add more recoil for the Castov 7.62, the M13, the RPK. Okay, yeah, so they don't know what they're doing. Move on.
So based on what I've seen for the RPK on streams today, is that everyone is still using it.
Yep.
So it did get nerfed. It evidently did not get nerfed very much, or at least it doesn't feel like it's very much to streamers yet. Now it is like hour 3 of this patch, so we will see if there's a new long range meta now. But I don't know how impactful this is going to end up being. I'm actually going to check Sim and see if they've updated their stats yet. And it doesn't say that they have. Usually at the banner on the top, they will say that it's updated for season 2 or whatever. So we can check it on Sim and see how much exactly these values have changed now. But at least for Warzone, it does not seem to be enough to get people off of it, based on like the streams I've been watching today and the things I've been seeing on the TL, which is a real shame, by the way, because people are very bored of the RPK. And the fact that it is still the meta is really annoying. And what we really wanted to see is more buffs, I think, to assault rifles. I don't know that the RPK needed to be nerfed that much, to be honest with you, at least as far as Warzone goes, as much as ARs needed to get buffed, I think.
That's true, yeah. That is
because the RPK doesn't feel broken. It just feels like the best option you have, but it's not like OP. Like it doesn't feel like a DMR where it's like, oh, you need to nerf this.
Yeah.
It's more like it's fine, but you know, it's not like overpowered. I just wish there were other contenders. And I wish that there were some in the AR category, and we're already done with the AR section, so it doesn't look like there are going to be. And that's pretty unfortunate. Now, maybe with the new guns, that'll change. I strongly doubt it, but we'll see. It is, after all, day 1. And then the raw MG was balanced. Uh-oh. What did they do? Increased recoil. That's it. It's the only change that had. So I have no idea what that will entail. If that's all, and it's not that much more recoil, this thing is going to be even better than before. Because now its TTK was faster than the RPK before this season.
A lot faster at range, yeah.
And now that's even more true because the RPK's damage got nerfed and the RALs didn't. So if the RAL is still controllable with this quote-unquote increased recoil, then the RAL is going to be even farther ahead in terms of sleeper meta Warzone guns.
For Al Mazrah, I think now you could differentiate them since we have a Resurgence map. This gun will not be good on Resurgence. It's too slow and bulky for that. But specifically for Al Mazrah, this has to now, I would imagine, be far and away the best one with these damage reductions to the RPK.
Depends on the recoil. Which it probably is fine still. They didn't say a slight reduction or increase to recoil, nor did they say a significant increase to recoil. So it's probably manageable still. And I would encourage all of you to try this on Al Mazrah if you were using like an RPK or something.
Yeah. Because
again, in terms of damage, if you can control it still, this is way ahead of the RPK. And that's even more true now. So moving on, marksman rifles. The EBR was changed. The LMS was changed. The TAC-M was buffed.
Finally. That had such a slow fire rate. The increase the fire rate. That's really good for those of you going for Orion still in multiplayer. Because it had a fucking terrible fire rate. Like the worst in the game, I think. Very slow. So that made that gun a lot better to use right there.
Yeah, so there you go. Next section is melee. Increased non-lunging melee damage range. Allows players to hit equipment on the ground with melee while crouched. Okay, I see what they're saying. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. Melee attacks with non-melee weapons will now require 3 hits to kill a fully armored enemy instead of 2. That's a fantastic change. Oh, wow, good. Yeah. Good for that. And it's good timing with Resurgence coming out that they don't have... I'm not getting fucking two-shotted. SMGs, the Vaznev 9K. Reduced mid to long-range damage. Okay. That's somewhat relevant on Al-Mazrah and probably not very relevant on Resurgence. I don't know if anyone's using a Vaznev.
This was a multiplayer change. This is the issue with these general balancing changes. It needs to just be different for multiplayer in Warzone. I don't know. This was the broken SMG for multiplayer.
Yes, true. Good point.
And it performed like an AR in multiplayer. It's still been really good in Warzone, but they also spelled Vaznev wrong in their own patch notes, by the way. I don't think that's how they spell it. I mean, the Fennec has been what everyone's using, and still what everyone is using, it seems.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably more intended for multiplayer, which I guess is good, because that gun does fucking multi, you're right. Yeah. The Mini Bach, which is the Bison, which is, I don't know what that is in real life. Reduced damage ranges, it was nerfed. A lot, which it didn't need at all. That gun's not very good in multi, now it's even worse. Fennec 45. Decreased overall damage and headshot damage. That is the first multiplier change that actually is good that we've seen so far.
We had said that before, is that the Fennec had really high multipliers.
Yes.
For an SMG
it needs
especially.
To have worse multipliers along with every sub. And so this is a start. Decreased headshot damage. And then, by the way, every single weapon we've talked about, the last note for the weapon tuning or weapon balancing is added minimum damage against armor. So I'm not sure what this means. I saw a tweet that was like confused and talking about this from, I think, True Game Data and JGod talking to each other on the TL. They're talking about how some guns have different damage values against armor plates on other players in Warzone than other guns do that are like distinct from their actual normal damage values on just flesh only. So all of these weapon balancing changes are adding to these things, added minimum damage against armor. I don't know what this means or entails, and we're going to have to wait for a True Game Data video or a exclusive Ace video on this topic. I don't know much about it. It seems like he doesn't either, True Game Data or JGod. But there is some shenanigans going on with damage against armor plates being somehow distinct, or there being two separate values for guns, certain guns, maybe all of them, versus against flesh. Now, I'll have to wait and see what actually is going on there before I make a judgment on this. But I will say this. It's an interesting idea and way to tune your guns for a BR. And I actually think it does kind of make sense. So here's like, for example, a change that I would actually be behind if it's implemented well. SMGs and pistols, since these are pistol caliber rounds, they're small bullets, do less damage to armor than flesh. Or like they do reduced damage if the person you're shooting has plates. Whereas with an AR, there's no pro or con. You just do the same damage to flesh and armor. But the armor still obviously takes the damage first, so you still want to be plated always, obviously. And then maybe like LMGs and snipers do like bonus damage to armor. Maybe not that far. Maybe let's leave that off the table. But what's a great way to balance all SMGs and pistols across the board so that the TTK up close isn't 5 milliseconds? add a flat damage dampener to all SMGs and pistols against an armored opponent. And you could even justify this with real life logic, which is true. A pistol caliber round is going to have more trouble against body armor than a fucking 7.62 round will, you know? And it's a pretty easy balance change to make too. You know, shotguns would also do less damage against plays. Like they just do 10% less damage if your opponent's plated.
The thing is, you wouldn't be able to tell because by the time you have no plates, the time to kill is so fast anyways that I don't see how this would even... I just don't understand it. Because it's like, you taking the plate damage, it's going to take a certain amount of damage, and then you taking flesh damage, at that point, you're 2 or 3 shots away from being dead no matter what. I don't see why, like, different damage values to armor should even be a thing. It just seems like unnecessary, not even, I don't know. I don't see the reasoning for that at all.
I agree that it's not necessary, and ultimately, I would probably prefer they just balance their fucking weapons and just have the multipliers for pistols and SMGs be really dog shit unless you're hitting head or torso or neck. So that way you are incentivizing accuracy, which is something we've been talking about a lot up close. But, you know, if they're going to have minimum damage against armor values, there's a way they could do that where I could like it, I think. But again, I don't know what this means. I don't know if anyone does. So we will revisit this topic in a week or two when the nerds have done some testing and we can comb through the findings.
This sounds like something that would be big for a game like Apex or something with a much longer time to kill. But in this game, when your plates are gone, you're 2 shots away from dying anyways. It seems like they're adding more confusion for themselves and for everyone else, just changing damage values versus armor and not armor. I mean, this game would have to have 100 more health for this to actually, I think, be like a noticeable difference.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
that's totally fair.
It just sounds like they're getting too active, confusing themselves even more.
I think I agree with you. But we'll see. Either way, here's what I do know. The time to kill up close is still very fucking fast in this game, in Warzone.
Immediate. Yeah.
Even when you're fully plated. And also, here's what I know. The Fennec 45 is still, as of right now, the meta SMG. That's still what everyone seems to be using.
Yeah, because remember, we had...
did not seem to be enough.
We had said we don't think the game needed extra health necessarily. It just needed guns nerfed. Now they didn't nerf the guns enough, so now it's more like, okay, maybe we do need extra health. Because, I mean, we've been waiting for this whole season for this massive gun balance update, and this is what they did. They changed, like, 3 guns that are used. Like, That's it?
Yeah, I said this last episode. I was like, they're not talking very much about weapon balancing. I'm worried they're not going to do that much. And they really didn't. They changed barely anything. So we'll continue, but I mean, we're already done with ARs, LMGs, and submachine guns.
Yeah, there's one more.
So as far as Warzone is concerned, we are done with the weapon balancing, and that's not enough, and it's not good. And the state of the game, I mean, the time to kill is still fucking insane. So there is a chance that inside of the next month, they do a big weapon balance update. Raven's done that before, where they launch a new season, they add a bunch of content, and then they'll say at the end of that blog post or that patch note, they'll put a blurb and they'll say, we also plan on nerfing the Cold War AK and the fucking whatever, MP5, within a week. Stay tuned. So I don't think we're going to get that blurb here, but it's possible that will happen. It needs to happen. The time to kill is still way too fast up close. And this did not change it. And by the way, I hope the Fennec is the meta SMG because it's killing awfully fast up close. So if it's not the meta SMG, that means there's some other SMG that's killing even faster up close, which is going to be entirely too fast. So cool. Best case scenario, the Fennec is still meta, actually. But anyways, moving on. Snipers, the Signal 50. Reduce sprint out speed Okay, so the sprint out timer is higher. So that's a nerf to the sprint out. Okay. Poorly phrased. Reduced movement speed, reduced long range damage, and a small decrease to bullet velocity. Some people were using the fuck out of this. Symphony's one person I've seen who used the signal a lot, and it got nerfed. So that's probably fine. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. I think that's a pretty good change too. Like the bullet velocity being the big thing that I would have done to nerf that for Warzone. That's fine. And then attachments. Reduced ADS penalty for bipods and fixed an issue with choke attachments scaling hip spread incorrectly. So I wonder how that will affect shotguns. Scaling hip spread incorrectly. If the hip spread got a lot better for choke attachments for shotguns, something to think about. Probably not relevant with how fast these SMGs are killing right now.
Not in Warzone. No, it won't be.
But
I don't think.
There you go. And that's it for weapon balance.
I expected them to say something else about snipers. Like, we've heard you guys, you want one-shot snipers. Unfortunately, get fucked. It's not happening. Like, just say anything about it, but they didn't, yeah. Unless it's in here later, but I scanned through all these and never remembered seeing it, so. Sounded like a lot as we were talking, but it is not a lot. This is less of an amount of weapon balancing changes than any season or mid-season update Raven did during Caldera. I mean, we would have 40 guns change. Granted, they were, I guess, doing multiple games as well. It was like we had 120 guns. That's part of it as well. But I felt like even like every update they did, they would change a bunch of the like Vanguard guns every single time. So to wait this long and get this amount of weapon balance changes is kind of a joke.
I agree. I think we needed a lot more. Hopefully we get a lot more soon. Once again, I think comprehensive weapon balance is one of the casualties of them having to pivot to changing the Gulag map for 1v1, making the Gulag 1v1, removing armor vests, fixing issues that they themselves created when they launched the game, which I've beaten to death at this point. But I think weapon balance is one of the things that was now put on the back burner so that they could make all those changes that they didn't need to make if they had just launched the game correctly on those topics initially, which is what everyone told them to do. So again, the point there, the silver lining there, when I say that, is it is possible, and I think even probable, that this is not setting the precedent for how much new content we're going to get with each season or how much weapon balancing we're going to get each season. I think like season 3, for example, or season 4, we're going to see more weapon balance by then. We're going to see more new content by then. We're going to see... Oh, what was the other thing? I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. There was something else that I just said and I forgot it. But I think right now the reason we're seeing so little weapon balance and so little new content is not because this is going to be the way it is for the remainder of Warzone 2. I think this is just because they've had to roll back a bunch of things that they didn't expect to have to roll back this season. So I think in the future we can be expecting more, hopefully, weapon balancing going forward now that they are done doing things they didn't intend to have to do by this time. If that makes sense. I didn't phrase that very well.
Yeah,
but
hopefully. Surely.
I don't think this is the precedent. I think next season we can expect more weapon balance and new content.
Yeah, something else I just thought too, with them moving to this whole Call of Duty blog patch note page, we may never see the detailed Raven weapon balance changes again, because those were always done in their blog posts. Since they're moving all of the patch note posts to callofduty.com, I wonder if that's I wonder if they're essentially like rewriting them for that or something and not putting detailed stats in there. I don't know.
It's a good question.
That would
maybe
really suck, because it'd be excellent if I knew if, reduce lower torso damage, if that meant by 2 or by 10, that's all I want to know.
Yeah, that would be great.
I get that the average person doesn't care, but you have the stats, just throw them in there. You did it for a fucking year when Raven was putting out the patch notes.
It's crazy to me because they have the values. I don't know why they wouldn't just put them in the fucking patch, in the notes. It's so insane. So yeah, typical Infinity Ward caliber patch notes. But anyway, let's move on. Vehicles is next. There's a jet ski. I don't care about.
Oh, let's go. Added EV charging stations for the Hummer. Yes, no more gasoline for the electric vehicle.
Oh no,
let's
man.
go. I'm glad they delayed the season for that.
I do want to look. I'm going to quickly scan. The only relevant thing that could be in the vehicle section is either a massive nerf to tanks for ground war, which I don't play anymore, so I don't really care because the maps are dog shit, or if they added the big bird back. So I'm going to quickly scan for that. No, they didn't.
No.
So no more big bird. Like Tanner said, we will probably never see it again, and I think I'm okay with that because I don't have confidence they could balance that appropriately because it was frankly far too overpowered in Warzone. So if they just pretend it never happened, I'll be fine with that. And they also didn't really. They did. I don't know. They did a couple things, but they didn't nerf tanks themselves. They made some changes to how turrets work. I don't care. Operators is the next section. Don't care. Audio is the next section. Do care. Adjustments. Prox chat now fades more effectively over distance.
That's excellent.
If true, that is excellent. So if someone's right next to you doing prox chat, it'll be louder than if they're 20 meters or 50 meters.
Yeah, that's
how it should have worked from day one. Because then you can gauge how close the prox chatters are. Hopefully that actually works. But here's another thing. People aren't really using prox chat very much anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe mine was just turned off, but the 2 games Resurgence I played before the pod, I didn't hear prox chat once. Not once.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it's dumb to prox chat unless you're griefing anyway. So, anyway. That's a good change. Improved sound effect of reloading underwater. Okay. Audio bug fixes. Address a number of missing audio elements in the UI. Okay, that's interesting. And I wonder what other little settings you can change to optimize your audio experience. Because now there are things you can turn on and off relating to audio that you used to not be able to. That's what I'm understanding this to mean, right?
I'm thinking the opposite. I thought it meant there were audio bugs when looting or something. So it's an audio.
Oh,
that's kind of what I thought.
Right.
Or when you're in the menus clicking on things, which I never really noticed
be making
any
a
problems,
noise and it doesn't. Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
probably
That's what it
right.
sounds like to me.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. So yeah, I don't care. Fixed an issue where ping sounds could be missing. Okay. Fixed an issue affecting the sound effect for an enemy dropping cash. Okay. Fixed several issues where specific materials were occluding incorrectly. That's good. That's what they talked about, and we talked about super in depth, where they said they added a toaster and it would occlude audio as if it was a 3 foot thick reinforced concrete wall. So if that's working correctly, good. We'll have to play and see. We'll get back to you on that. And then there's some mode specific audio fixes below. Social is the next header. Adjustments. I don't care. I'll use the menus and see if they're intuitive or not. So a lot of changes to the social menus. Good.
I know I still couldn't join all my friends this morning, so that's cool.
Yeah, people were crashing when they opened their friends list. So that's one of the hidden patch notes that they probably didn't put in here, but it's, day one of a patch. Of course, that was going to happen. So yeah, we'll use the social tab and we'll get back to you guys on this when it stops crashing our game, of course.
So many bug fixes in the social menu.
Yeah, a lot of bugs. And still more. UI UX is the next header. Once again, I'll use the UI and I'll tell you guys if it's better or not.
They organized the camo menu.
Or you guys can.
I saw a little video of that. That did look a lot better going through your camo screen.
Oh, that's good.
That's cool.
Okay. And then global bug
wait.
fixes.
This is a big one. A slight increase to the animation speed of Orion camo.
Oh,
it is
let's
noticeable.
Go.
It
I
is a
have
noticeable
Orion, by the
difference.
way.
Yeah, it is quicker. And we had said that like a while ago. Even when they made the improvement, we're like, it looks good, but it still needs to be faster, more vibrant, something else. So they sped it up a little bit more. That's cool. Looks even better now. Well,
Good.
Yeah, a little bit better. Polyatomic still looks better, but
yeah, got it. Yeah, that's good. So anyway, global bug fixes is the next header here. I'll do a quick little scan, see if anything is super relevant here. Fixed an issue where enemy markers persisted after use of the spotter scope. That's good, honestly, because that's really broken. I used that multiple times on launch to just like actually wall hack kids. Use the spotter scope and the ping just never goes away, so that's good. I mean, it's season 2. I can't believe it took this long, but there you go. Let's see. That's kind of it.
yeah, several issues with the firing range have been fixed as well. They've been doing that since the game launched. It had a million issues.
Yeah.
It's crazy how one little one-lane firing range have had so many bugs. No wonder they can't make the World War II shit like they had, where there was like a whole area you could go to with other players that were also hanging out there. They can't make a one-lane firing range without it having 4 trillion bugs. I mean,
they can't even
shit.
make a friends list without it having 4 trillion bugs. They can't do immersive environments anymore. Yeah, absolutely
That's what happens
not.
when they have 8 big game modes they're trying to push, and yeah.
It's also what happens with crossplay, because your menus have to work for PCs
Yeah, true.
and PlayStations and Xboxes and the old gens also, and the old gens of the other one also.
And I'm
and the
done
Nintendo
with crossplay,
DS.
Yeah, add input-based matchmaking. But
Yeah.
The
So,
game being
anyway.
dead. Moving on.
Moving on, indeed. PC settings. Gyro aiming. I don't know what that is. What
It's
is
a thing
gyro
where like
aiming?
you physically move your control. I don't know. No one used it. It doesn't matter. We're not reading it.
Yeah. There's several additional settings to help players fine-tune gyro aiming. I don't know what that is, but okay. Moving on, Spec Ops. I actually refuse to read this. I don't care.
Really? Not even the first one? The looking for teammates?
You can read the first one if you want.
This was something we had made fun of. They added the raids in, trios only, and you had to have a trio or you couldn't queue. It's like, what? So we said, how can you not search for a lobby?
That's
so,
right.
oh, cool. After one season of this being in the game, they decided to add a party finder option. So that's good. If you want to play the raids, you should be able to do that going forward, because that was absolute insanity. But, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. So there you go. You can actually play Autumn Grad if you don't have friends now. You can find other losers like you using the queuing for group thing.
Moving on.
Moving on for sure. Cooperative. So this is in the special ops category. Not a raid. Yeah, it's just the thing. Yeah, I don't care. And now multiplayer is the next section here. Okay. Multiplayer. Playlist. Modes. So we got Infected, Gun Game, Grind, and Hardcore, which we've already talked about. It's not going to go into any details.
Infected is one of the ones we're going to try on Friday for customs, boys and girls. Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're going to try.
Infected and Gun Game we are going to play for our Damascus Hangout.
For sure. As long as they're in customs, we'll check. Even if they're not, we're still doing customs. But
yeah, exactly. So moving on. Maps, Dome, 6v6. Valdera's Museum 6v6, which was a map that was in beta but has not been in the game until now. Zaya Observatory and Al Malik International Battle maps, the ground war maps. We've gone over all of this, so they're just reiterating that. And now Generals, the next heading for multiplayer. Audio. Enhanced occlusion in all core 6v6 multiplayer maps, so that's good. Improved dog tag pickup effect to be more discernible among other game sounds. And kill confirmed and grind that. Okay.
I don't remember that being an issue. We played a lot of kill confirm for leveling guns. I don't even remember thinking anything was wrong with that. I wonder what they mean. Is it too quiet or something?
If I run over it, I'm going to pick it up. I don't need like an audio cue, but whatever. That's fine, I guess. Perks. Okay, this is interesting. Ghost. Reduced bonus perk cost by 50%.
I don't know what this means.
Perk by 25%. Okay, well, Ghost is not a bonus perk. It's an ultimate perk.
I don't know what this means.
So I don't know what that means either. This is not written correctly. Let me read it again. Ghost. Reduced bonus perk cost by 50% and ultimate perk by 25%. Yeah, I have no idea what this means. What I think this means is that if you're running Ghost in multiplayer, you will earn it 25% sooner than you do now. That, right? I don't know why reduced bonus perk cost.
I'm trying to think because they had said something else in one of the last blog posts we went over about the earn rate of perks. So are they trying to point out that Ghost is different and Ghost is even faster or slower than the other perks?
I think it's faster.
It's such a good perk, but everyone wants it like constantly. So that would make sense that it'd be a little bit faster than everything else. I don't remember. We could open the other blog post and find it, but whatever.
That still wouldn't clarify what this means because Ghost is not a bonus perk. So why is it saying reduced bonus perk cost? The only way this whole sentence makes sense, which I don't think is the case, is that they're saying if Ghost is in your perk package, then whatever your bonus perk is before Ghost, you'll get it 50% faster, and then you'll also get Ghost 25% faster.
Yeah.
That's the only way this makes sense. I feel like that would be crazy to do. But maybe this is what that means, actually. Take out the fucking timers. I pick 4 perks and I have them when I load in.
Yeah,
we've been saying this.
You get your bonus
since,
perk at 20 seconds now, probably. It's like, why did you create this whole insane
so ridiculous.
system?
Yeah, the whole system doesn't make sense. But anyway, moving on here. Next section, ranked play. Okay, this is interesting. Ranked is now live and available to all players who have reached level 16. So these are 4v4 matches. And it uses all the same maps, modes, and settings used in the CDL 2023 rule set, which they linked. So the biggest thing I'm looking for here is if they also included additional restrictions on things that are technically legal in the CDL, but are gentlemen's agreement out.
I feel like they haven't yet. I think they will, but I feel like that's not in currently. That's something they'll probably add in by next season or something. Again, we're definitely going to try this. I'm honestly more excited to try out multiplayer ranked than play like Resurgence or anything.
I think agree.
It's going to be fun. But it says right here, they're all restricted based on official CDL competitive rules. And the official rules are the official rules. That does not include the GAs.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So,
Jakin's saying they've been updating the restricted list to include. Maybe they've been including GAs then.
Oh, so the
most
CDL
or all the GA
themselves...
stuff has been restricted. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so then maybe that I don't want to. Okay, yeah.
Good.
Okay, that is good then. Are you looking at the link?
Yeah, I'm looking at the link.
Check what is one of the guns that's GA'd but not banned, like the 74U.
Added the Cast-Off 74U to restrictions in 1.3.
Cool. Perfect.
Okay, so basically, this is what Call of Duty should have been doing the whole time. It seems like everything or almost everything that the orgs have agreed, gentlemen's agreemented to not use, even though they were technically legal, CDL said, okay, we'll just make them officially illegal.
Yeah, may as well, since no one's using them anyways. Just follow the.
And now the CDL game, the ranked play in the game mimics the CDL rule set, which now includes everything that's GA'd. So that's good. So Excellent. It's going to be the same thing. Yeah. That's ideal, actually. So good job, Activision, for making a good decision. That's good decision number 2, I think, in these patch notes. So there you go. Okay, cool. So that's really fun. So now you can LARP like a CDL player. There you go. So it goes over the modes and maps. It's hardpoint control and search on a number of maps. You guys can check that out yourselves. Skill rating and divisions. I think we know most of this already. All players begin in Bronze 1 with 0 skill rating. So once again, there is the skill rating, which goes up and down depending on if you win or lose. And then there's also your ranked play level, which you earn stars for, but you can't lose stars. So one of them is just how much time you've spent on the game and how many wins you've gotten. So you could get 500 wins and be max level in ranked play, but you've also lost 500,000. So you're still bronze 1, even though you're max like level.
So you're a max level like, bronze shit can, yeah.
Yes. So there's skill ratings, which do go up and down. That's like the important thing. And then there's also the levels, which again, I think is a very cool system. It's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they're just going over things we pretty much already know. And then here's one thing they haven't talked about. End of season skill setback. At the end of each season, your ending skill division will determine where you will start the following season. Bronze through Crimson players will start one skill division below where they finish, starting in tier 1 of that new division. For example, if you finish season 1 Platinum 2, then you'll start season 2 at Gold 1. So you keep some of that progress, but not all of it. This is a good system. There you go. And then the highest starting position each season is Diamond 1. So if you get like Iridescent in season 1, then you'll start season 2 as Diamond 1. So there you go. And then they talk a little more about the top 250 leaderboard and that division as well. There you go. So new this year, the top 250 leaderboard will display CDL team affiliations and profiles for current CDL pro players and coaches. Keep track of your favorite players and teams and see how they stack up against the ranked play competition. That's kind of cool. Top 250 will display CDL team affiliations and profiles for current CDL professional players and coaches. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I mean, they're playing against different people, so it doesn't matter that much. I don't understand
what that means. Are they saying if they're playing in the ranked modes, it's going to list them? And like they're going to have their own profile? I don't understand what this means.
So I think what it means is like, if you're looking at the top 250 leaderboard, let's say I'm ranked 200 in the world. It'll say my KD in ranked play is 1.08. And then it'll say my win-loss percentage is 58%. Okay. I think what this means is also on that leaderboard, you can like tab over and it'll show all the current CDL players and their stats.
Okay.
So like Scump's KD is 1.15, whatever.
He's retired.
I think that's what that means. And I think it's kind of neat, but also Scump isn't playing ranked play for those stats. He's playing in the CDL, so it's different. It's like not a fair comparison. It's like two different leagues.
Okay, that's cool that it shows that then, yeah.
I think that's what that means anyway, because I don't know what else that means. Yeah, so, because CDL players are not playing ranked play, at least not very much, so. Ranks and rewards. So yeah, this is the ranks, which is what I was referring to as levels earlier. You get rewards for ranks and wins and all that shit. End of season division rewards. So this is the skill rating one. You get a division skin. Earn a skill division skin for use with both CDL male and female operators on both factions to represent your highest skill division. Once the skins from one skill division have been unlocked, they can be permanently used in following seasons and anywhere you play. So Warzone, pubs, etc. That's really fucking cool. Especially if the skins are done well. So like if you get top 250, there's a top 250 competitor skin by finishing a season in the top 250 skill division. So it's a CDL themed skin, but it's also going to be fucking Orion colored or something. Very cool. Super noticeable. Super grind worthy. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's
This
dope.
is like probably the best reward you can get because it's cosmetic only and it's immediately noticeable. And you'll see it when that player is in the lobby and obviously when they're in the game also. That's really cool. I really like this. Yeah. And then they also have one for gold competitor, platinum competitor, diamond competitor, crimson, and iridescent. So whatever skill division you get, there's a separate like CDL themed skin that you get for finishing there that's based on your skill. That's really fucking cool. And then in addition, for each of these things, you get a charm, emblem, and calling card. Unless you're silver or bronze, then you only get an emblem.
You should get
fucked.
nothing, yeah.
Which you shouldn't even get an emblem. Yeah, you should be prohibited from playing the next season.
Yeah.
This is interesting. The player who finishes season 2 in the number 1 position on the top 250 leaderboard will receive a unique one-of-a-kind calling card and emblem for the ultimate bragging rights. That is very cool, and also, this person cheats.
Yes, I was about to say that. Whoever gets that is a cheater.
That person cheats.
Yeah. Because someone will cheat just to get that, yeah. That's cool, though, that they're doing it for the number 1. I wonder what it's going to look like. I hope it's not some dog shit thing. It should be very cool looking. I'm going to get it. I got it already, actually. Yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I wonder what that will look like. That's really cool, but...
It's too bad I'll only get it. You won't be able to, because I'll be in the number 1 spot. You won't be.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, there are people who are going to be grinding so hard for this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to have, though. But anyway, yeah, that person cheats. So just so you know, when someone gets it, report them for cheating.
Surely MW2 ranked with all these things to grind for will keep all the CDL sweats off of Warzone now, right? Copium. I'm hoping, man. Here's to hoping.
So next section, competitive integrity features. So these are kind of important too. Players who DC or quit matches will receive SR penalties as well as temporary suspensions with escalating penalties for repeat offenders. Perfect.
Can't wait for my game to crash, though, and then me get a temporary suspension.
Although that will be the issue.
Add a reconnect feature to ranked. Yeah.
Although that will be an issue, yeah. Well, in ranked multiplayer, I don't even think you do that, honestly. Because what if I'm your teammate and you crash and then reconnect, but we've already lost 2 rounds of Surge?
Well, it should be like
a SR forgiven.
Yeah, I was gonna say it should be on a timer, but I guess even then, by the time you relaunch the game and everything, you're a couple minutes in.
The only thing they could do is pause the game until that person reconnects.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to be waiting for that. Because even if that's like a minute, that's going to add up over games. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. SR forgiveness. If a player DCs or quits in the middle of the match, all of that person's team members outside of that player's party will not lose any skill rating. Interesting. So if I queue with Tanner and Tanner rage quits, I will still lose SR, but people not in my party won't.
That's what you get for partying up with me, man.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I like that. That's fine. Either way, if they're not in your party, you should definitely get forgiveness. So that's good. Just basic ranked play features that are in the game. That's good. And then you can still earn skill rating if you win the 3v4, but you just can't lose anything. So that's cool. If a player quits or DCs before the start of a match, the match will be canceled and will not count. The remaining players will return to the main menu. That's good. Friendly fire is enabled. Repeated friendly fire will result in players being kicked from games and receiving penalties and suspensions. Good. After advancing to a higher skill division, players will be granted temporary demotion protection and will not lose any SR within the first 3 games in the new division. Following that initial protection, if players were to lose enough SR to be demoted, they'll first be dropped to the minimum threshold of their current skill division instead of being demoted. Losing their next match will result in the demotion. Okay. So they're making earning that next skill division very important, and they're really trying to keep you there if you get it. Which I think is probably fine.
I think that's the way most ranked games are, because it's not going to be like you rank up and then you lose 1 game and you get deranked again, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like every game has that. They're doing a very good job of explaining everything. All of these notes on ranked play that I assume Treyarch wrote these, this is very well
That's because
written.
Treyarch wrote these.
Very well written, a lot of detail. We're not used to having all this.
They're clear. Yeah, there's a lot of clarity.
Clear. I mean, telling us shit like that, that's honestly, we don't even really need to know. That's like excellent that they tell us that.
Yeah, that's how you know Infinity Ward did the first section, by the way, just so you guys know. So anyway,
reduce ghosts by 50% and by 25%. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. So
you should be ashamed of yourself if you work for Infinity
moving
Ward.
on, party restrictions. To ensure fairness and balance, players in certain divisions can only party up with players around their current skill rating. The player with the highest skill division in the party determines which party skill rating restrictions are used. So if you're iridescent or top 50 or crimson, you can party with players within one skill division. If you're diamond, within 2 skill divisions. And then if you're a shitter in any other skill division, you can party up with anyone you want. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So you can't get carried by like a top
And if you're a
250
bronze
player.
and you're, playing with a platinum guy, though, you're going to get put in higher lobbies. You're not going to be in bronze lobbies. You're going to be in
going to be put in
platinum
lobbies,
gold
probably.
lobbies instead. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That sucks, though. We won't be able to play for too long together because I'm going to be in a higher division than you. That's too bad.
Because I'll be in a higher division than you. Yeah, true. Yeah. That's going to suck. Additional social features, hot streaks, which we've already gone over. So if you win 3 in a row, you get like a victory streak.
That's really cool.
Oh, you know what? This is only cosmetic. Win 3 games in a row over a short period of time to earn victory streak flames that appear behind your rank icon in the lobby and in game. Extend your win streak to progress the flames. They expire when you lose or after 72 hours without playing a ranked play match. Okay, so this doesn't work at all how I thought. It's only cosmetic. You don't get like extra SR or anything.
No, yeah.
Which is what
it was just to show people you're on like a kill streak. Like if we're 4-stacking, we go into a match and we all have flame emblems, these guys are like, oh shit, these guys are on fire
shit their
right
little
now.
pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is cool, but I wish it also had a bonus SR reward if you win while on a hot streak, because that means you're in a skill division too low for you. That's why I like that feature. It's a quick catch-up mechanic. That's how I was explaining.
Maybe there is something like that. If you go on streaks, maybe you are getting higher skill rating, winning like a game. That's possible.
It's baked into their algorithm.
There's so much. There's so much that goes into a ranked mode. They're not going to tell us how the whole thing works. In fact, most games I don't think tell you at all how the rank system worked. Counter-Strike never used to. It was like a complete secret. No one has any clue really how the ranking system used to work.
Yeah. So anyway. That's still cool, though, even if it is cosmetic only. But yeah, you are probably right. Ranked play icons will be added to your social profile to identify your ranked play skill division and rank anywhere your profile is viewed across MW2 and Warzone. That's cool, too.
Yeah, so I can look at my friends list, someone who plays Warzone, and if they play ranked play, I can see their little rank, and I'm going to call you a shitter if it's gold.
Correct. Yes. Breaking news, MANSCAPED is now selling beard products. That's right, they've gone from waist to face to help you replace that bulky razor with their brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Manscaped helped you get the golden rod of a Greek god, and now they've created the best tools for you to turn heads with a clean, perfectly groomed and conditioned beard. Finally tame your mane going to manscaped.com and using our code DROPSHOT for 20% off plus free shipping. This kit is about to change your life. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit has made it easier than ever to craft your signature look. This kit will take your facial hair anywhere from Gandalf to totally bare. It all starts with the Beard Hedger, which is a juggernaut of fixing faces. First off, it's waterproof, it's cordless, it has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 haircutting lengths all with one guard, which is really convenient. It's really clever. I really like that part of it. With 20 lengths, it's never been so easy to find your signature beard look. Plus, the trimmer has a titanium-coated T-blade that is tough on hair, but smooth on your face. It's much more than a trimmer. The entire Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. It has the beard shampoo and conditioner. All your hair is different, and your beard hair is much more coarse and easier to damage. That's why the kit has shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your natural oils, promoting beard health. We've also got the beard oil, nutrient infused, relieves dryness on the beard and the skin beneath, and then you cap it off with the beard balm. a pomade that shapes, styles, and moisturizes the amazing scent of fresh eucalyptus, rosemary, and lavender essential oils. And of course, the kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors, which are all really nice. Get 20% off and free shipping with our code DROPSHOT at manscaped.com. Once again, 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code DROPSHOT. The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit, the premier solution to face grooming. All right, now Warzone 2.0 is the next section. So we just finished the multiplayer section. Now we're going to be talking about Warzone, and then the subheader for Warzone maps. So starting off with Ashika Island, the new map. They write a lot of words about it, and then they talk about the POIs. We've gone over all of this already. We're not going to be rehashing any of this, but there is some interesting stuff in here. First note, in DMZ specifically, players will experience foggier conditions than those of BR and Resurgence. Players can utilize the fog for cover, but so can your enemies at range. So that's good. It's going to be less foggy in Resurgence and BR than in DMZ. I actually kind of like that. I think DMZ, maybe, some fog is actually kind of cool.
Yep.
And a little more tactical style gameplay. I do wonder how that affects the AI. Maybe on Ashika Island, they just set the AI parameters to not start shooting you until you're 10 meters closer than if you were on Al Mazrah or something, to simulate that they can't see you as well because of the fog. But that's really good. And another thing I'll mention is I was watching some Ashika Island gameplay. Did not look nearly as bad as the screenshots.
The fog
didn't look as dark and didn't look as foggy. Yeah. So that's really good to see. And I'm glad that they made that differentiation between DMZ fog and BR Resurgence fog. So that's good. So fair play to them for that. Okay. Now, map updates to Al Mazrah. So most of this we've already gone over. Downed aircraft at Sati Caves, so the map Afghan. Underground tunnels in Suburbs 14. I don't know where that is.
Well, it must be the tunnels they were talking about up
north. So I guess between Rohan and Tarak.
Sounds weird they would call it suburbs because there's nothing out there at all. It's open desert. It's not suburbs, but okay. That's sub-Renaissance.
Anyway, new passenger train moving counter-directional to the existing cargo train. So it is, as I suspected, it's going to be on the same track and it's just going to move in the opposite direction, which is fine. Added a path through the cliffside north of Hydroelectric. Okay, I'm looking at the map
Yeah, that
here.
confuses me. North of Hydro, isn't it?
It's toward Rohan and Tarak.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, what? What is there that a path?
Yeah, there is no cliffside.
I'm thinking they mean
maybe the
south?
map. Yeah, maybe north is at the bottom of the map that they released, which would be really annoying. But that's the only way that makes sense because there is no cliffside that I remember.
Yeah, let me pull up this map and look
from Hydro to Rohan.
North of Hydro, there's not a fucking.
Yeah,
maybe
not
west?
based on the map. Yeah.
Or they,
I think they mean toward Observatory. Let's assume it's toward Observatory. Is that good? I think yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to play that and see. But yeah, okay, sure. Added vehicle ramp to garage rooftop in International. Okay. At the airport. Why the fuck did they do that? But whatever. I don't care. And then Gulag, the Gulag map has been updated to better suit 1v1 combat in Season 2. I actually haven't seen the Gulag yet. Have you?
No, I haven't.
You know what they did?
I have no idea. Haven't seen it.
Okay. Not the biggest deal. Don't die. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that entails. So I guess we'll see. And then they have a tactical map guide, which on principle, I'm not opening any guide that an Activision dev writes for their game. They don't know how to play it. Next section, Battle Royale. So they're going over the playlists here. In Al Mazrah, we have all of the modes. On Ashika Island, which some people are mad about, The only playlist right now is Resurgence Quads. And they're going to be doing the regular fucking every week changing the number shit that they've always done. Now, when you release a new map, definitely have more than one playlist for sure, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they wanted to keep it to one for like bug fixes or something. Maybe it's easier on their end to patch like one playlist versus numerous. I don't know. I mean, I hope by next week we have something more than just quads, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially if they're going to have all 4 in regular BR. Like, if anything, do it the opposite. But whatever. Anyway.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Resurgence Quad's max players is 52, by the way. And I don't know how populated that feels. I haven't played yet. Tanner's played a little bit of Resurgence.
It feels like more than enough.
Did it feel?
Feel more than enough. The map felt smaller than the screenshots make it appear when you're actually on it, and it was nonstop fighting for us. We only played 2 games, but both hot drops we had numerous teams all over us. There seemed like there were a lot of players.
Okay. So, yeah. And they'd be willing to change that number if it wasn't anyway.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Anyway, it's only Resurgence Quads, but there you go. Next, modes, Resurgence. They talk about the new mode, Resurgence, which is not really new. So here are some new things between Rebirth Island and now. So there are new score events. In addition to the traditional score events, we've added new ways to shorten the respawn timer for squad members. So if Tanner's dead and I do any of these things, the timer before he redeploys will get shortened. Getting a headshot on an enemy player, killing an AI, doing that uplink data heist shit. On the move, if you move more than 25 meters while your teammate is dead, your teammate will come back sooner. That's cool. I like that a lot. Hunt. If you eliminated a player while they were tracked by the hunt mechanic, which they should have explained before they did this section, but we'll get into that mechanic in a second. Hunter double. You eliminated 2 players in a row while they were tracked by the hunt mechanic. Hunter spree, 3 players. Armor break. You broke all of a player's active armor plates. That'll shorten the timer. Audacious elimination. You got a kill while a squad member was down. And fearless elimination. You got an elimination while being the last living member of your squad. So this is more ways that you can shorten the timer before your teammates respawn. And notably, the vast majority of these new ways to shorten that timer are aggressively focused and require you to move your character and like shoot it and kill other people. So I think these are actually pretty fucking good. They're all incentivizing you keep doing shit rather than hide in the bathroom and wait for the timer to tick down for your teammate to come back.
Agreed.
I think this is
like
cool.
all these changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like even like the headshot thing. That's something you can easily do. If you down a guy, just headshot him when they're on the ground. Your teammate is going to come back faster than if you full the guy on the ground by shooting them in the chest. That's what that's going to count as, is the full kill, not the down too. So it's just like easy ways to, come back even quicker.
Yeah. So now that hunt mechanic, which they've already mentioned, hunt and track mechanic. At any point during a match, eliminating an enemy player will display their squad members for a few seconds on the minimap. So this is what we talked about last episode. This is how it worked on Rebirth Island and why everyone thinks Nadia and every Rebirth player cheats, because they look at their minimap after they get a kill because this mechanic exists and they did not explain it. So I'm glad they're explaining it now. Specifically to solos, eliminating an enemy player will display their location upon redeployment for 10 seconds. So that's kind of to have something similar in solos, because obviously there's no squad members for the game to give you the location of. 10 seconds seems like a fucking awfully long time, though. And I wonder when this timer starts. Probably right when you're in the air.
Probably when you're in the air. 10 seconds seems too long.
So maybe it's fine, but it does seem long, doesn't it?
I mean, 10 is like, you're in the air, you have time to land, you have time to start looting shit, and you still know where that guy is. Seems a little high, but, solos,
it also doesn't need to be in solos, I don't
anyways.
think. I don't think this needs to be in solos. But it's resurgent solos. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not the end of the world, maybe, but we'll see. Next is loadouts. Okay, this was a big question, so now we know. Players can acquire their loadouts 2 different ways. Towards the end of the first circle, there's a public event that drops a loadout crate for your squad. Okay, so does that mean that loadies, there's 1 loadie per squad? Or is it like how it was in Al Mazrah?
I don't know. We never got our loadout, but I know Cope kept complaining some guy was just camping the loadout. I just know he kept saying that. He got down to him like twice. I was never even able to get out there. So I don't know. Not sure.
Interesting. Okay. So it's toward the end of the first circle, which is the same as Al Mazrah, I guess. So, okay. Loadout drop markers are also available for purchase via buys, and they use the same price scaling as standard BR. Now, that sounds on paper like a terrible idea, but they also talked about how Ashika Island is going to have way more economy than Al Mazrah does, so maybe that's fine.
There was a lot of cash. There was cash everywhere. Yeah.
That's not surprising.
I had no trouble finding any money.
And they also, I think, are going to be adjusting this number. We'll probably get into that more in these patch notes. So we'll see. But okay. Additional information, shockingly, and thank God, strongholds are disabled. Good. Very good.
Yeah.
At least there are no strongholds. This is a big, big concern of ours that has been answered, and we don't have to be concerned about it. So the only AI is going to be that data dog shit and the new contract, which is way better than that stuff, plus strongholds. How much AI did it feel like you were seeing when you were playing?
0.
Good.
I mean, everyone that killed me was AI, technically. I don't think either of those events are even in the game yet. Aren't both of those AI events mid-season anyways? Pretty sure they were.
I think the new contract is in already, but the event isn't. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were
I don't
both
know if the
mid-season.
new contract is in, actually. Maybe it's not yet.
Yeah.
Or on launch. That's a good point. But yeah, no strongholds. That's a really, really, really big deal, and good job there. Ground loot guns always have attachments. Blue supply boxes restock after 90 seconds. So those are like the same as the resurgence.
The ground loot guns
did
seem pretty good. Like every one I picked up did have, it seemed like at least 2 or 3 attachments on them, the ones I was grabbing.
Okay. Both the restore honor tags and eliminations show red dots on the minimap. Okay. Didn't they already say that?
Yeah, they've already said a bunch of this.
Okay. And then enemy AI only spawn during the data heist public event or during a search and seizure contract. Okay. So it looks like the AI aren't just going to be there. It looks like they are actually going to spawn when someone picks up a search and seizure. That's actually good as well. I theorized that was not going to be the case, but that is the case. So that means less AI. That's really good.
The thing we were curious about, though, is if someone grabs that contract and it takes them to like a vehicle that's right next to me, are those AI combatants going to start shooting at me? That was I think the biggest question is, do they only attack the team who has that contract? Because if so, I'm just standing there with the AI and shooting the other players as they come up. So that doesn't seem to make sense either, right? So you would think they would attack anyone and everyone within a certain distance.
I think they would attack anyone and everyone, yeah.
I hope their range is like severely reduced compared to a normal AI combatant.
I also hope that when I pick up this contract, the AI don't spawn on top of anyone else. Because can you imagine?
Fuck. Yeah.
You're in a gunfight and then AI and a fucking jet ski just spawn right next to you and they start fucking your ass.
That wouldn't be great.
Because there's no way they're not going to be hostile to you, even if it's not your contract. I just don't see that being possible. So hopefully they have that figured out. But either way, this is better than the AI always being there and then a contract just leading you to them. I'll take it. So there you go. So overall, that's actually really good to hear. It being less foggy and better visibility than I expected, no strongholds, which I was very concerned about, and less AI than I expected as well, based on how that contract works. All good. all good. All like best case scenario as far as what my concerns were for Ashika Island.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty good. And I'm excited to play it and try it. For sure. So, there you go. So moving on. General private matches. You can now do standard BR private matches on Al Mazrah.
Oh, that's cool. You only need 10 people to start the lobby, right?
No.
Oh.
You need 52 players to start this lobby.
So there aren't private lobbies.
Outrageous.
Yeah, there aren't private
There
lobbies.
are not private lobbies, yeah.
And
that is an outrageous number.
We complained about that in Warzone 1, and what was that number? 24? 22?
26?
Okay.
Something like that.
So they decided to double that, yeah.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was probably 26 because they decided to double it, so that's really cool. So yeah, so we're not doing Warzone customs ever. So that's cool. We can't. I mean, holy shit, 52 players. That number might come down, but I doubt it, honestly. I don't think we're getting much private match
do they
support.
do it to like deter people from playing privates because it's on their servers or something, so they don't want like extra server load? That's got to be it, right? So they're like, oh, privates are in, but you can't play them. Yeah. You can't play them unless you're, FaZe Clan hosting a...
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that we're like sponsoring.
So this is, this is excellent
for
for the competitive community. Hold on. Warzone competitive. Hold on. Warzone competitive. This is good for that community, but it doesn't benefit the average person. Like it used to benefit us a lot. We could use it, but this is that's washed.
Yeah, it's actually, like you said, it's just for like Boom TV events and shit.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate, obviously.
I am interested to see some private lobby Al Mazrah tournaments, though. So that
it'll be fun as a spectator. And on that point, the spectating feature for private matches will be enabled at a later date.
Oh.
So we never had a spectating feature for private matches in Warzone 1. So if we ever do get one, that'll be really good for those event organizers as well. That's cool.
Yeah. They also...
And it'll be good for Call of Duty themselves when we talk about their own sanctioned events.
They also said about a year ago, sometime early on in Caldera, that they were working on a bunch of private lobby settings, by the way, to make them super customizable. And now we finally get Warzone private lobbies on one map, just Al Mazrah, not the new small map. There are no settings that you could alter at all, and it's 52 players to start the lobby. So,
and there's no word on them adding it later, like they said.
And all they say was the
feature.
spectating feature will be added. They don't say a full list of customizable features will be added soon. No, it's just you'll be able to spectate. We'll probably later. So that's one of those things we'll never get. Yep.
Yeah.
Really,
that and the
really
Albatross
tragic.
are two things we're never getting.
Yeah.
And there will be more.
That have a brain. Yeah.
Yeah, and patch notes. And numbers on the patch notes. Gameplay is the next header, and this is in the Warzone category. New gameplay features. Counter UAV on all maps and all modes is a new kill streak. It is a counter UAV. I fucking hate this. I hate counter UAVs. They're dog shit and dumb and not fun. And I don't want them in Warzone. So
I'd rather have counter UAVs than mortars or precision airstrikes. So.
That's probably true, actually. Yes. So if this dilutes the mortar streak loot pool, then maybe it's fine. Yeah, that's a good point. But anyway, they added counter UAVs. I mean, this did not need to be added, but I guess it's fine. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't think it's whatever. Yeah, exactly. Al Mazrah, all modes. Oh boy. Redeploy packs. New equipment. This new tactical equipment will give players another shot at victory. They can be found in ground loot on some buys and are guaranteed from completing strongholds and black sites mission.
The Ted Timmons effect is coming to Al Mazrah.
Oh no.
Here we go. This is the start right here. This is what we're getting first.
Okay, I'm confused.
Stop putting this in BR.
Tactical equipment is like a flash grenade.
Mm-hmm.
So if I pick this up, do I have to equip it in that slot? Like, what if it's in my backpack but flash grenades are on my equipment
No,
for
I doubt it.
tacticals.
It's probably just you buy it
and
and it's
I die.
somewhere on your person and they just say tactical equipment. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that you can buy this pisses me off. You can buy back a redeploy before you die.
That's crazy.
That's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like, you just added in Resurgence with infinite ways to respawn, and you added a bunch of ways to reduce the timer. That's great. Leave that in Resurgence. Why are we making BR feel like Resurgence mode? This is annoying.
So, by the way, they don't explain at all how this works. All it says is this new tactical equipment will give players another shot at victory. I'm assuming what that means is that if you have it and you die, you just instantly respawn.
I figured you respawn, yeah. It could be like it takes you to the gulag. I don't know. I don't know who tweeted it, but I did see someone on my TL saying like all the Al Mazrah changes were good, except for the redeploy tokens are not a good change at all.
This is a terrible idea for sure. And by the way, you're guaranteed to get this from doing a stronghold. So definitely continue doing the drop strat. Because at least so far, what that now looks like is you get gas masks, your loadout, and probably some streaks, some self-reses. And now you're guaranteed to also all get redeploy packs.
Yeah.
That's insane. And you get loadout before the free drop. So continue doing the drop strat. Continue doing strongholds immediately. They're way better now than they used to be. Yeah. So this is dumb and they shouldn't be in the game, but there you go. I'm curious to see how.
Well, how does it work?
Some of you probably already know, but I haven't played yet today.
How does it work if you haven't gone to gulag yet? That's what I wonder. If there's even because if it's like some sort of
redeploy token.
Okay, so then if you die, it will use that first, and then the second time you die after you come back, then you would go to gulag. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably like that. Yeah, that would be my guess. That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, like we were talking about how detailed the rank notes were. Again, these are back to the Infinity War notes. They don't even tell us how the new redeploy feature works in their game. We get... Yeah. They basically gave us all of the data on ranked play and told us exactly how to level up, how you lose skill rating. They can't tell us how their redeploy equipment works in their Battle Royale, their main video game.
Yeah. Their biggest cash.
God, I hate them.
Influx.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Fuck
terrible.
you.
So since this is already in the game, I'm sure many of you already know how this works, but we haven't played Al Mazrah yet, so we don't. But we'll talk about it more on probably on Saturday. So yeah. Moving on, Ashika Island event. Restore honor. So we've already gone over that. There actually might be some new data here. Hold on. Okay, never mind. There's no new info. Search and seizure is not in yet. The new contract is also in season along with data heist. So that's why there's actually no AI on Ashika Island right now.
Yeah.
Because they would only be with the two in-season editions, which is going to be the new contract, search and seizure, and the data heist uplink thing.
Yeah, and the drones. I forgot about the drones. Yeah, those are in season.
Yeah, and the redeploy drones are again in season. The Rusher, the new AI, we've already talked about that. Gameplay adjustments. Okay, here we go. Loot that spawns across Al Mazrah has been adjusted. Slight adjustments to the existing loot pool. So they said the same thing twice. And counter UAV has been added. Cool. Okay. So they did not say that the kill streak loot has been reduced. That's what I was really hoping to see there, and I didn't see it.
In my second game of Resurgence, I mean, we were out of the match within 4 or 5 minutes. I had already found a mortar strike and a precision at that point.
Awesome.
And I had looted one
and
building.
great.
So I don't know, though. I could have just gotten very lucky. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So anyway, cash economy is the next header. Players will now drop more cash upon elimination. This is in both Al Mazrah and Ashika. Well, I guess it's just Al Mazrah because just whatever. Players will now retain more cash upon redeployment. Overall balance change to economy so that players can earn more cash per match. Slight reduction to cash rewards for completing contracts. Cash, yeah, okay, so we've already gone over all of this. It was previously mentioned that cash would no longer be obtainable via basic and legendary supply boxes. This has since been adjusted. You can now get 500 minimum in a basic supply box and 800 minimum in a legendary. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There was a lot of just cash. Like, most of the cash I found on Ashika Island was, like, on the floor, on, like, little, like, picnic tables. As you run by, it auto picks it up because it's close enough to you, etc. That's where I was finding most of it. There was a ton of cash everywhere, which won't matter because I'll never be able to get to a buy station in Resurgence,
So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Normally, like in Caldera, when they vastly increased the economy and put a bunch of extra cash in everyone's pockets, that got out of hand and then really bad on Caldera because you could buy unlimited streaks of anything you want at any buy station you want. However, in this game, you can't. So I don't really mind that they're giving us way more cash. In fact, I actually like it, because then you can buy your loadout more reliably and sooner. That's the only thing you can reliably buy with cash,
back
really.
at least and stuff too.
And teammates, yeah. So that might become a problem on Al Mazrah, but there's also redeploy packs, so it's going to be a lot easier to stay to stay in the game in Al Mazrah now with more cash. Good point. And if the buy stations are better spaced, that's going to make it even easier, even without the cash change and redeploy packs. So you're going to be a lot more survivable as a squad in Al Mazrah. But yeah, this is less bad than like a bunch of extra cash on Caldera, because again, the problem with that on Caldera and on Rebirth and Fortunes was that you could buy unlimited cluster strikes. In this game, there's only going to be 0 cluster strikes at a buy station anyway, so
yeah,
not that big of a deal. And now that just means you can buy the exorbitantly overpriced loadout sooner, which would be the same thing as just making the loadout cost 10k and not changing the ground loot at all. But if they want to do it the roundabout way, that's fine, sure. Armor plates and vest. All players have a 3-plate vest at all times now. I told you guys this before COD Next. Players will also spawn with a different number of equipped armor plates depending on the following. This is interesting. So on the start of the match, you deploy with 2 plates. When you come back from Gulag, you automatically have 3 plates. And then when you come back in Resurgence, you redeploy with 2 plates. How do you feel about this?
I think infill should be 3 plates.
Come back.
Infill should be 3 plates. I think Gulag should be 2 or 1 even. Again, you're just constantly rewarded for dying in this video game and coming back, you know. They reward you the most for that. So I don't like that, but I get from their point of view, you're not really coming back with much loot, but you do come back with your guns, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Like you said, I don't really care that much that you come back with 3 plates from Gulag. That's the only actual change here, by the way. What I would much prefer to see, though, is infill deployment. You should drop in with 3 full-ass plates. Yeah. I can't believe I've never thought to mention that, but that's always how it should have worked. You would think before I drop out of a fucking airplane into a battle zone, I would buy an extra plate. I've already bought 2 to put in my plate carrier. I would have bought the 3rd one. If there was ever a time I was going to be fully plated, it's before I get in there. I brought in this fucking 2 guns, 4 grenades. I've got all kinds of gear, but I couldn't afford a 3rd plate. Why do I not drop in with 3 plates? And the gameplay reason for that, of course, is that if I drop in hot and you find a plate and I don't, and then I lose because of that, that is not fun or exciting. It's just RNG. So if everyone just had full plates right when they dropped in, that would eliminate that, which is, of course, how it should work. So if anything, that's what should be the case. But now you come back from Gulag only with 3 plates, which I guess is fine. I don't really care. But yeah, I think you're right, Tanner. This more highlights a missed opportunity. You should have 3 plates when you infill.
Well, and then they didn't nerf any of the pistols. So it's like the starting pistol does literally like 90 headshot damage. So you're still going to get 2 tapped at the start of the game because you only have 2 plates. You know? Again, they don't know what values any of their weapons do, so that's cool. Thanks, Sim, for letting us know.
Yeah.
It does actually like 95 headshot damage, I think, or something absurd. So if they're going to keep it that way, then you should for sure be fully plated when you get in.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, I need to look this up. Okay, so the next section, very surprising. Perk packages. Players will now be able to customize their own perk packages. So one question we had, because when they were talking about this, they said we're going to disable some perks for gameplay balance. Here's what they disabled. Overclock, the ultimate perk, and Bird's Eye, the ultimate perk. That's it. That is frankly shocking. I didn't even know what Overclock did, so I just looked it up. Overclock is an ultimate perk. Here's the description. Store an additional field upgrade charge. Increases field upgrade charge rate by 40%. And then when you earn it, you get a field upgrade charge. So this is one of those perks that just doesn't really apply to Warzone anyway. So it should never be enabled in Warzone, and that's fine. That's a good thing to disable.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And then Bird's Eye is the ultimate perk that was bugged and probably still is bugged. And instead of fixing the bug, they just disabled the perk, which honestly, I'll take.
They should have done that 2 months ago. Yeah.
This is what they should have done 2 months ago until they fixed it. So I think now what happened is they were intending to fix it and they're like, I'm confused. And they just turned it off so you can't use it in BR. Now, this is way better than it being in the game and still bugged, for sure. And also, I don't think we're missing much by not being able to use it. Because if Bird's Eye worked as intended and was not bugged, so it didn't show everyone's UAV pings for me, I probably wouldn't use it anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal. So effectively, perk packages in Warzone, you can use whatever you want. Because you would never use Overclock or Bird's Eye if it wasn't bugged anyway. So this is basically unlimited perk package customization. I'll take it. I'm very surprised Ghost or High Alert or Fast Hands didn't get touched. But now it kind of makes sense why they did this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, the only one I really cared about was Ghost. I would rather Ghost not be in the game. I was hoping they would remove Ghost or make it so it only works while moving. They didn't, though. So yeah, you can pretty much use any perks. I had set up Double Time, Bomb Squad, I think Fast Hands, and High Alert, which didn't matter because I never got my loadout, but that was the first kit I was trying.
Yeah, for Ashika.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Yeah, and we'll have to play around with perk packages for Ashika and Al Mazrah, but that'll be very interesting to talk about, especially now that we know what the restrictions are and that they don't matter.
Yeah.
So moving on, buy stations. Spawns have been adjusted. All spawns are static. Loadout drop markers are now unlimited, and the prices are as follows. In solos, they're 8K. In duos, they're 12K. In trios, they're 16K. And in quads, they're 20K. Given that the economy is also way better now, I actually think these are appropriate values. This looks pretty good. We'll have to play to like
earlier free loadout now.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to play to confirm this, but this looks really good, especially now that there's more cash around.
Mm-hmm.
I like this a lot. Cool. Make loadouts more accessible. This is great. So there you go. Nice. Okay, moving on. Strongholds and black sites. These are now a primary way to earn a redeploy pack. AI combatants now do decreased damage. So their AR damage is 22 instead of 34. So that's a giant nerf to their damage.
Good.
And their shotgun pellet damage is 15 instead of 17, which is also a big deal because you always get hit with more than one pellet. So those are massive damage nerfs to the AI. And by the way, as someone on the TL pointed out, I like that we're getting number values for damage with the fucking AI, but not with what we can use ourselves. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good
Fantastic.
one. I enjoyed that.
That's great, man. That's fucking great. So yeah, AI are way more dog shit now. That's good. I'll take it. Take them again, make them as irrelevant as possible, as if they weren't even there at all.
Yeah.
So cool. This is good though.
Yeah, let's just pretend we never did the AI experiment at all, huh? Let's just get them out of
agree.
there. Let's do the albatross. Let's albatross
Let's
the
say
AI.
we're temporarily removing them to adjust their algorithms and just never talk about them again. Yeah, for sure. And then next point here, AI combatants in strongholds or black sites will evacuate the area during the 3 final circles. Okay. So what is that? Does that mean in the final 3 circles, I can't do a stronghold or black site anymore since I have to kill a number of them to unlock the loadout?
I would assume, probably.
How do we feel about that? I think that's probably fine because I've never done a stronghold that late.
I don't know if anyone's ever done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you would when the loadouts have already been there and you can still access it after you die either. And they land like in the middle of the zone, so there's probably one safe. I don't know. I don't think that matters at all.
I mean,
in terms of the loadout thing, it's good for not having AI come into play.
Exactly.
And choppers just constantly coming in when I'm trying to fight a team late game. But in terms of not being able to get a strong or a loadout from that, couldn't care less. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I think overall this is a good change. Yeah, for the exact reason you mentioned. There's no AI toward the late game. They're all fucking getting out of there. That's good. And there's no choppers there. So like if you see a chopper late game, you know it's players. So that's a good change, actually. And by the way, this answers our question because they had said they're going to adjust the rewards for completing strongholds and black sites. Now we know what that means, and here's what it means. Removed armor vests, since those don't exist as loot anymore, since you automatically have one. Remove backpacks, since those don't exist, and you automatically have whatever backpack you have. And then added redeploy packs, which is the new item they added to the game. So you can still get a loadout from doing strongholds. So that's still going to be the play. Once again, is to do the drop strat. Yeah. The rewards were not changed in the way that they implied at all.
And since the loadout drops earlier, people will be less likely probably to even go for strongholds now because they're like, oh, why would I even bother? I'm going to get a loadout soon anyways.
It doesn't drop earlier.
Well, you get a loadout in the first circle now. It used to be second circle. It's first and fifth now. Yes.
Toward the end of the first circle in Al Mazrah. That's what we always did. Yeah.
No, the first one drops earlier now. It drops a zone earlier. That was in like the blog post talked about like 2 weeks ago.
I don't think so. I think it's always dropped toward the end of the first circle. If there's like 5 seconds left at the end of the first circle, that's when we fly our chopper over the stronghold. I don't think they changed the time of that. I think they just added a second one.
I thought they moved up the first one.
If they did, it was like a long ass time ago, but not this update. No.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of a different update they did.
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking of.
I mean, they moved it up at some point, or they talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, this isn't new. The timing of the first one. Not super new, anyway. But, yeah. Anyway, whatever. In any case, this is good. Wait, no, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking of Stronghold's opening.
Yeah, no, they changed. Confused. Well, that's what I'm confused about. Was this change already in the game, or was this in the blog post from like 2 or 3 weeks ago saying it was coming? Know. That's what I'm confused about now. I'm like, well, maybe they did already put it in.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm thinking of Stronghold's opening. That's what we did the drop strat for.
Yeah, do they even?
So I think Strongholds open at the same time.
It's right here. Hold on. What does it say? A second loadout drop has been added, which means the drops will now happen in the first and fifth circles, where before it was. What, it was just the second, wasn't it?
Oh, it was like the third, yeah. Or second or third. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is still going to be earlier, meaning I think less people are likely to go for the strongholds, which means they're theoretically on paper going to be more free than ever. Because I feel like a lot of people think that way, like, oh, I'm not going to bother fighting the AI, which you can't blame them. But
yeah. So I think now strongholds are going to open on Al Mazrah at the same time the free Lodi drops.
I don't think so. I feel like the loadie will still be a minute or so later.
Well, the stronghold opens like 15 seconds before the first circle is done, right?
No, doesn't the stronghold open before the gas starts closing? That's the timer for the gas closing,
that still counts as the... Yeah.
It's still, yeah, because there's a first circle before the gas closes, and there's the first circle once the gas starts closing. So I think the loadout will come once the gas is closing at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll play and we'll get back to you guys. This will be easy to figure out once we're actually in the game. But I do agree with you, though. Now that a free loadie comes way sooner than it used to, then... strongholds are going to be freer than ever because fewer people are going to feel like they're relevant. And it's still going to be very much worth doing because it's still almost certainly the soonest you can earn a loadout. And now you also get that redeploy pack. And it probably drops one per person on your squad.
I was wondering,
which is fucking insane. Yeah. So that's really good. So keep doing strongholds for sure. Unfortunately, I think it's still the best play. Anyway, moving on. Champion's Quest. Players may notice an adjustment to difficulty. This is the new contract, by the way. They may notice an adjustment to difficulty. Why say that? Why not just tell us what that means?
Yeah.
A new blueprint. Go ahead.
Remember there were rumors I was talking about a couple weeks ago. I think it was they were talking about it on one of the podcast episodes that Repulse does. They were talking, I think it was like Lucky or one of them, where Jaga was saying there were rumors or they had thought the devs had talked about changing it to 3 wins. So I wonder if they did something like that. But it's like an adjustment to difficult. Just tell us if you made it harder. Like, what does that even mean? Harder, easier? We'll probably know by the end of the day. In fact, someone may already know what this change is. But a lot of the guys are playing Resurgence right now, the guys that are usually going for nuke contracts. So I'm sure OP Marked or someone will have it figured out within an hour.
Yeah, if they don't already, like you said, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what that means. And then also there's a new weapon blueprint of reward available for completing it. You get an F-Tac Recon Brass Tacks weapon blueprint. Wait.
You got that in Season 1. That was one of the rewards for getting a new contract was a fucking F-Tac Recon blueprint. Jesus Christ.
And now it's been vaulted, so you can't get it anymore.
Okay, Fortnite, yeah.
Oh, so now you can't get that anymore, which I like. And now
there's a new one.
And now there's...
Yeah, that
Is
sucks.
Is there a new one? Yes, and now there's a new one, yeah.
That sucks we didn't get the F-Tac Recon blueprint because we didn't get a nuke in Season 1. God damn it.
Yeah.
Man, oh well.
And all the other rewards remain the same, so you'll still get the charm, the sticker, the operator skin, and etc. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I like there being a different one for each season.
I would love that. They should add a different operator skin every season too. They won't, but that would be excellent.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Although I really like this operator skin, I'm glad they didn't vault it. Backpacks and inventory. So I think we've gone over most of this. Loot now just falls out of containers. Let's see. When players expend an item in their active loadout, stored items from the backpack will no longer fill that slot. The only 2 items that will still auto-populate the loadout from the backpack are plates and ammo. The changes above should reduce the impact of stacking medical supplies, equipment, and kill streaks. Okay. Well, first of all, kill streaks, you always did have to re-equip. They didn't automatically go to your loadout once you used one. So it doesn't help with that because it worked this way before for kill streaks. Equipment. So if you have 2 flashes on your loadout and then 8 in your backpack, if you throw 2, you're going to have to open your backpack and equip the next 2.
Yeah.
And same with like stims and shit.
Because there were people spamming those like flash grenades and stuff. They would have 8 of them and just keep throwing them.
I think this should only be tactical equipment, honestly. Because yeah, if you like, you shouldn't be able to just throw 8 flashes in a row without having to do anything at all.
Yeah.
But also, this isn't going to help very much. I mean, you open your backpack and you click on a button. It's not it's not going to hamper people that much. And it's quite annoying having to re-equip kill streaks, and self-res also is, I think, another one. Well, maybe. I wonder if there's a self-res, but it's not on my loadout, if I'll just die. That's a great question. This is implying that you will, which I think is dumb, probably.
I don't know if that would work with self-res. I kind of doubt it. But hey, they weren't populating, right? I was picking up armor plates and they were in my backpack, not being put on my character. So
yeah, so
even that doesn't work. And I ran over a plate at one point and didn't pick it up.
Yeah, this is a dumb, shitty, ineffectual change for a problem that requires a way better solution than this, because it's not really going to help flash grenade spam. If I'm holding 8 flashes, which I can still do, me having to open my backpack quickly to re-equip them is not going to stop me from spamming flash grenades.
I think it does make a pretty big difference, honestly. It makes it annoying enough that people aren't going to do it. I've seen tons of videos of people just flashing someone over and over to troll them like 10 times, and they just won't be able to do that as easily. So it will deter them from doing that, I think.
I think maybe a little bit, but here's a better idea. Don't let people carry 8 flash grenades. Like, make a better solution than this.
Don't have a backpack
Because if you're really willing to throw 8 flash grenades, you'll do this. Like, you're still going to do it. I don't know. I don't think this deters the people it intends to deter, and it just makes the game more annoying and clunky for players who are not abusing stacking flash grenades anyway. And now they're going to have to like open their menu more to re-equip whatever, a kill streak or a self-res. I don't know. I don't like it. There are better ways to fix this, but we already talked about those like a week or two ago, so let's move on. Loadies, yeah, there's a second loadie now. So on the 1st and 5th circle, you get a free loadout drop. Spawn protection was added. Protects the player when they are between 64 and 19 meters off the ground. It's interesting, but okay. Gulag, and then we've already gone over all this. There's the flag. There's just 1v1 now. The maps has been adjusted. Yeah, we've gone over all this. So there you go. Next section, improvements. Pre-match loadout selection. You're now able to edit and select loadouts in pre-match lobbies. This is annoying that it wasn't in the game, so that's good. Global plating animation speed increased by approximately 25%.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
That is big. That is actually very big. That may be the biggest change to plating, honestly. That may be almost more important than being able to sprint while plating. It is like very noticeable. Like you're tossing those plates in now, whereas before it felt so slow. It's like, dude, get the one plate and you're an elite operator. Shove it in there. It is so much faster now, that animation. So that's excellent.
Yeah. Next change to plating. Movement speed increased while plating. Players can now sprint while plating, which they did not say before. And players can now bust through doors while plating. So I think the reason they said movement speed increase while plating and also players can now sprint while plating is that when you're walking and plating, you'll move faster also.
Yeah, it was even slower walking.
In addition, you can sprint while plating.
Yeah.
These are all great.
Very noticeable. Such a small, minor thing that made the game feel so much faster, like we've been saying for so long. So that's a good start. There are people that seem to think the movement got other changes as well. I've seen a lot of people in the TL saying that the movement, like it feels like they increased the speed or something. I kind of thought that for a little bit. I was watching Joe for a little bit. I was like, dude, it seems like he's zooming, but it could just be I play on like not max FOV, close to max. He probably plays on max, so maybe make it seem like he was moving faster. And then Jake was streaming to Discord for a little bit, and I was watching. I was like, dude, doesn't the movement look really fast? He's like, yeah, I don't know. Something feels like quicker with it. So I don't know if they changed that too and just didn't tell us.
Certainly possible.
Or if it's just because we've mostly been playing Tarkov, which is a much slower game. But I don't know. Something felt very fluid. and very quick about Ashika Island.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to, I'm sure if that's true, then someone will know pretty soon.
Yeah.
But these are all really good plating improvements, even better than what was talked about in the blog posts that we've gone over. Particularly being able to sprint while plating. Are you able to slide while plating? Did you test that?
Probably
You
not.
should be able
I doubt
to.
It. No, I doubt it.
Well, if you can sprint, you should be able to slide. But maybe not. Yeah.
I mean,
we'll
I
have
don't know,
to
you can't
test
do
that.
anything while sliding in this game, so I doubt it.
Yeah, you can't
I'm not
even
sure.
shoot my gun, so we'll have to test that. I'm curious to see. But either way, these are really big. So that's very good. Ping visibility. Each squad member now has their own color when they ping, and their name is their own color. This day one shit, but glad we're getting it.
That's like a year from when the game launched thing. Like, how do you even develop them, have them all the same color, huh? That's cool.
That's crazy, yeah.
Thank you.
I think you should be able to set your colors like in the pregame lobby or even in your own user settings, like a preferred color, so that if I get on with the boys and we're going to play for 4 hours, I can be like pink the whole fucking day. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
That can't be that hard to do, because it's annoying when you play quads for a couple hours and it's like, okay, Tanner's green this game, and the next game, fucking Jake is green.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just got used to Tanner being green. Now Jake's green. This is annoying. But anyway, either way, this is day one shit, but better. Interrogation, the reveal mechanic has been changed from an orange outline to a red marker to remain consistent with similar mechanics. Okay. Improve the separation of loot on steep inclines and in tight areas. That's going to continue to need refinement, probably.
Oh, yeah. The loot vomit, by the way, there was shit way too close to each other still.
Yeah,
like
I'm
guns
not
on top
surprised
of
at
each
all.
other, hard to grab shit. Yeah. I mean, I'd still prefer this system to having to open up a duffel bag and click what I want and drag my mouse. I'm a fan of the loot vomit in general if they do it correctly. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but I still prefer this system.
Yeah. The way they did it in Warzone 1, where it was like a circle around the dead body, that was good enough in general.
Yeah. There's some other things too, like when I opened up the medical box that are in bathrooms, so it drops the stims out on the floor, and like they need to change how certain items look on the ground now with the vomit, because like you're moving so fast opening these, and like at first glance, the stim and the revive pistol look like exactly the same. They're like the same size. So that will take a lot of tweaking, because a lot of times you're like looking at the ground and you're like,
stim pistol back.
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this item here? Yeah, I think it was only out for a little, but they may have already added it back before this.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was just maybe only out for a week or something, or a few days.
Either way. Okay. Well, they'll need to continue working on the loot vomit, but it's a start. Next section, UI, combat records. So they say Warzone 2 combat records will come online as part of Season 2. They have also said it was coming on the launch of Season 2, so this is very weird phrasing. Is it in or not?
It's in right now, yes.
Okay, it's in. All right, so there you go. Play again feature has been added, so that we had that in Warzone 1. Bug fixes is the next section. Okay. Let's see here.
Fix an issue causing loadout icons to disappear on the TAC map. We were playing today, and Cope or Lag said that. They're like, well, the loadouts still don't show up on the map, so I don't think that's fixed. I don't know.
I was going to say, that's
I didn't
a big
experience
bug
it
that they
myself,
should
but
have
one of
fixed.
them said something about it.
Okay. Well, at least maybe it'll work for some people, because that icon should not disappear unless the fucking box is gone. But okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Never mind.
Oh.
I thought Lag's bug got fixed. I thought that was the last thing, but it's not.
Oh yeah, I wonder if he solves his Champions Quest. Yeah.
Sure he does. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, some bug fixes, and that's it for Warzone. Okay. I mean, I'm really happy with the plating changes. I'm super happy with that. And I'm also happy that Ashika Island is plagued by none of the issues I was afraid it would be plagued by. That's also very good.
We'll see.
I'm actually quite excited to try it. Yeah, those will be coming mid-season, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, no strongholds is good.
Yeah.
Too. Overall, I'm actually quite pleased with this update based on what my expectations were for Warzone 2. My biggest gripe, based on what I knew was going to change or thought was going to change and what actually changed, is that we did not get nearly enough weapon balance. I think that's the biggest problem with Warzone 2, this update, is that we did not get enough weapon balance at all. The same guns that have been meta since day one are fucking still meta a whole ass 4 months later, and will continue to be until they do further weapon balancing. That's the biggest downside of this update, the biggest letdown rather. But a lot of upsides also, and things that are even better implemented than I expected them to be, such as the plating mechanics. So overall, I'll take it. I think this update was better than I expected it to be based on the blog posts, but I got way less weapon balance than I wanted.
Yeah.
So
agreed. I think what you said about the ARs needing to be buffed, I would have liked to see that change too. The only thing I'd be worried about with that is the time to kill then being way too fast. But yeah, simply put, the weapon balance changes not even close to being enough, it seems. Every streamer still using the RPK. Whereas like I feel like in Caldera and like back in Verdansk and stuff, usually update day, people would be using different shit. Within like 2 hours, someone would be like, oh, this is the new meta, but it's still like everyone is just using the RPK and Fennec. But it could be because this meta's lasted so long, so people aren't used to like trying anything different. I don't know.
I also feel like a lot more people would be trying the M13, but they just don't have it unlocked because it did get buffed.
Mm-hmm. It sure did.
But a lot of people just refuse to go mob the chemist. I have M13, by the way.
Yeah, I have it as well.
And you guys don't, so keep that in mind.
Some of the other stuff. The redeploy tokens I don't like. Maybe they won't end up being that big of a deal.
Oh, the redeploy packs. Yeah, that's
don't like
really
that.
dumb.
I'm a fan of how the looting system is going to work going forward. Excited to see the changes with Al-Mazr with the new loadout circles. That could be interesting. I mean, not loadout circles. Loadout drops when you get those. Yeah. The price
and
differences.
The reduced price, and it's actually a good price now. The better cash.
Yeah.
The static buys. I mean, a lot of this shit we knew was coming, and it's just good that it's coming. Which we've already talked about. The main things I was highlighting is things I'm surprised that were added. But yeah, I would say overall it's good. Definitely a lot of steps in the right direction. I just think we need more weapon balancing, and it's possible, like I said, that inside of the next 2 weeks we get a pretty big weapon balance pass. Depends what Raven's doing.
It certainly seems
what
that we should
Activision has Raven doing.
Yeah.
But we do need a weapon balance change, for sure. And I think streamers will start adding Raven and Activision on. Well,
they have
Raven's the only ones that look at Twitter for doing weapon balancing, so maybe they'll get on that. But anyway, moving on. Next section, DMZ. New exclusion zone, Ashika Island. We're not going to go into as much detail here because we have barely played DMZ, so we're not going to have much to say.
I think this is all stuff they said in the blog post pretty much anyways.
Yeah, so there's Ashika Island, the new faction crown. You have to buy the game to get it. The reset, the mission refresh. Again, the AI changes. Plating improvements are also in DMZ. They just copy pasted what they said earlier, which is good. I'll take it. Okay, cool. And then bug fixes for DMZ, bunch of those. And then next section, looking ahead. Season 2 Reloaded. We can't wait for you to drop into all the action in Season 2, but Season 2 Reloaded is just around the corner with new content and a limited time holiday event.
Wait, what
Players
holiday?
can look forward to a brand new raid episode, don't care, new multiplayer modes, a new 6v6 map, and more. Okay, and then here we got a screenshot of the new 6v6 map that we'll be getting in Season 2 Reloaded.
It looks dope.
It looks... I want a vacation here.
This looks like
the Swiss Alps, a ski lodge.
I was thinking this looks like Aspen or something, one of those ski towns in Colorado.
Yeah.
Looks like them Colorado mountains, you know? Yeah, this looks gorgeous. I mean, look at that, the snow on the ground. Ooh, I love snow on maps. vibey ass map, dude. God, I want to go here. Where is this? Where did they steal this from? This won't be coming because they stole this. This is some hotel in real life and they didn't get credit, so we won't be getting this in season 2.
The subpoena is in the mail to Activision by some ski resort somewhere in the Alps, baby. Probably. Yeah. So it says Congress Spa on a sign here. So I think it's fair to say. The very middle of the screenshot. Right there, okay. I mean, the dead center.
Interesting looking outline of the little swimming pool here, huh, buddy? Kind of a weird shape there, eh? Kind of a weird shape, you know?
The pool?
Yeah.
If you're hinting at something, I don't know what it is.
No, I'm just saying it's a dog shit layout.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know? It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. Looks nice, though.
Yeah, little spas in there, little hot tubs. God,
so this map, by the way, looks pretty fun to play based on this screenshot. Like behind where it says Congress Spa, that looks like a fun little area to vibe in. A lot of cover and pretty close quarters. This window on the left, you can probably enter this building and shoot out toward the pool area. Yeah. And the pool area is intended to be like a no man's land dead zone where it's like the middle of any multiplayer map where you shouldn't go. That's fine. I think this could play pretty well.
Yeah, it could.
And you can climb up to that window too.
I assume we're looking down like the lane here, and this is like the right lane over here by this little it's like a little restaurant up there or something up in that little window. So like this the big like main hotel area on the right hand side here, I'm sure that's off limits. That's just there for looks. I doubt you can get any of that. It probably ends right there at the wall below that, the railing. Yeah, this looks cool. I'm wondering if like where you're swimming here and you go underneath that fountain, I wonder if the water keeps going in because they want to add the water to the map. They have the swimming mechanics. I would think they would have like a little pool tunnel type thing so you can swim between then or something too.
Interesting.
Something to use their little mechanics that they added in. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like an excellent map in terms of looks, not how it's going to play, but it looks really cool. I'm a fan of the design.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I think it also has the potential to play well, but we would need to play it and see more screenshots. But okay, there we go. So we're getting that Season 2 Reloaded, the first new multiplayer map of the game. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Moving on, Season 3 confirmed. Our teams are hard at work on Season 3 and beyond. Holy shit, are they going to announce MW 23 too? And we're excited to share some of the awesome new content ahead. Gunfight returns to multiplayer with new maps each season, starting in Season 3.
So we'll get one.
I'm surprised. I'm going to be honest. Man. But that's good. We'll get Gunfight.
Yeah.
Maybe. It'll be delayed.
That was like the one mode I wanted there at launch and we didn't have, so that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, because now you're like, I have Orion. Yeah, I know. But that opens up some nice little opportunities for the Dropshot community, potentially. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Plunder is coming to Warzone in Season 3. Don't care. But maybe good for those of you guys who want to like level guns or whatever. And the biggest news, Warzone Ranked confirmed. Season 3, baby. Who called it again, by the way?
Well,
who did it again?
Metaphor leaked it for us.
Oh, wait, I think I said Season 3 Reloaded, actually. Damn. I was off.
So as we talked about too, Metaphor was the one guy, he made one TikTok and no one else ever talked about it. He was the one, he's like, guys, I can tell you this, Warzone Ranked is coming. It's coming soon. They're working on it. It's not quite done, but we are getting it soon. And he was the only guy that said something, and here we go. There had been no other rumors from anyone, really. I mean, there's been rumors since before the game launched of we'll have Ranked at some point. Yeah, sure. But he was like, okay, they're working on it. It'll be coming at a time. So cool. Yeah. Shout out to Metaphor.
So we've gotten no details on what Warzone Ranked will entail.
Not a single detail, yeah.
Other than it's coming in... Oh, by the way, I actually probably am right. Because Warzone Ranked coming in Season 3 could mean Warzone Ranked is coming in Season 3 Reloaded. It's possible. It's possible I fucking called it to the update.
Yeah, true.
We will see. But we got confirmation of Warzone Ranked. Thank fucking God. Are you surprised?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised it didn't come a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big surprise.
My biggest question now, I already saw one of the Rebirth Reapers tweet out something like, I wonder if like this is going to come to Resurgence. And that's what we've been wondering too. We kind of talked about that recently. I don't think it should because it's not a competitive mode, but COD isn't competitive at all. So I don't know. It would make sense. I think from a player perspective, to retain a player base, it would be smart to have some sort of ranked mode on Resurgence. I just don't know how that would work. It's a redeploy game mode. I don't know.
Honestly, they could just implement ranked Resurgence and score it the exact same way they're going to score ranked Warzone. And it won't have as much competitive integrity, but people will just choose to play it or not based on that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be ideal, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if they add it and you think it shouldn't be a ranked mode at all, it's like, okay, well then just don't play it. Go play BR ranked. That's my position.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how they do that will be very interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad we got confirmation of ranked. Yeah. And it's in season 3. That's really good.
And the good thing is you know, we're obviously not getting a new Warzone experience this year. So it's like this does sound like it's coming late, as I was saying, but it's like we're in season 3. This is going to be a ranked mode going forward. So like next summer, we're still going to have Warzone ranked, and that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Warzone 2 is going to be around for quite a while.
Yeah,
so yeah,
we'll have this game minimum of 2 years. So that's cool. I'm glad it's finally coming. No other details as of now, but you know, we talked a lot about that recently.
Yeah, and we'll let you know, of course, when more details come out. But yeah, that's good. So that's it for the blog post, the season 2 patch notes. Overall, like I said, I kind of already summed this whole thing up when I was talking about Warzone. With respect to DMZ, I have nothing to add. And with respect to multiplayer, let me scroll back up to like remind myself here.
You scrolling?
Ranked play seems like it's being done well. The rewards are even better than Vanguard, which is really cool.
Sounds excellent.
And then that's kind of it. So yeah, overall, pretty solid. We knew pretty much all of this going into it, but the new info we did learn was pretty good. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Pretty solid season 2 update based on what we were expecting.
I like also that they're telling us already what's coming ahead in season 3. This is, again, because how much hate the game has gotten. They want people to continue to have things to look forward to. So, you know, it's like, if this new map flops, everyone hates the mode or something, they don't like it. Now people are already thinking, oh, well, at least Warzone Ranked is coming next season, things like that. So I think it's good they're kind of telling us shit far in advance now. That's never really been the case before, so shout out to them for that.
True. And it's a smart move on their end, by the way. If you're like getting burnt out in Warzone, and they announce Ranked is coming next season, that'll keep you like playing and practicing and shit for sure.
Yeah.
So that's good. So yeah, I'll take it for sure.
Moving on here, a few other random things. We have an image here. This is kind of a little ranked play overview with like it kind of shows like the skins and stuff. So this shows like a couple of the rewards right here. So earn rewards every 5 ranks, including blueprints, charms, a gun screen, ranked play operator skins. So this is a Vazinev weapon blueprint you get for doing something.
Looks pretty dope.
It's fine, yeah. Little wind tracker. Oh, that's cool. A wind tracker.
That's fucking dope, dude. A ranked wind tracker. The gun screen is like, it replaces the watch from MW19.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool, actually. That's a smart reward.
Yeah, that's really cute. You know, it talks about some other things. Here's the skill division. So one little thing, here, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, crimson, iridescent. They look cool. I just wish they were different icons entirely. Why are they all the same icon, different colors, you know?
Oh, they're all like the Cobra, yeah.
Yeah. Like it looks neat.
Dog shit, but all the other ones
Diamond looks super dope. Platinum's okay. Iridescent looks fantastic. Top 250 looks different. But kind of disappointed because I'm like, Counter-Strike and shit, the icons like look better as you go better. It's like gold is like you get little stars next to your name. Then you're getting up to like global elite and it's like guns that are, I don't even remember what it is. It's like guns that are crossed or something with a crown. I don't know. So that's kind of just a little minor complaint I have. These look cute. Huh.
I think Look at ranks.
It's the rank, I know, but that doesn't matter because again, that's essentially playtime. The thing that should matter is your skill division, I think, for the rank.
So the color will dictate what. So your skill division will determine what color your rank icon is. I think that's how that's going to work. So if you're iridescent, you're probably going to be an iridescent dragon, not a.
Oh,
snake.
You think?
I think that's what this means. Yeah. Yeah, because look at rank 1 and bronze; they're the same icon. There's no way they're going to have two icons for different things.
Oh, okay, then that's excellent. Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Cool. It's like, why would they make them all the same logo? Okay, that's really cool then. So it just changes the color of your actual rank. That's dope. Yes. Actually. I really like that. That's like best case scenario. That's perfect. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
So I wonder if those are the only
3 rank icons, or if there's a different icon for each rank. Oh, maybe you add the stars. So like rank 1, which is like the levels, by the way. These are just, it's probably like this. Rank 1 is just the Cobra, and there's like a banner going through it with nothing in it. But if you get another win, it's probably that banner, and there's a star in the banner. See what I'm talking about?
There's not enough room, though, to have a bunch of stars to get up to the next rank.
Yeah, there's not room for 24 stars.
I think there are more rank icons. I think they're just not
probably
showing
every
all
5.
Of them.
Yeah, probably every 5. So rank 1 is the Cobra with 0 stars. Rank 2 is with 1 star, and then up to 4 stars. And when you hit rank 5, you get a new icon with no stars in the banner. And the color of that icon will change depending on your skill division, which is dope. I'll take that.
Cool.
I'll take that. Yeah, this is cool. This is great. Dope little. Yeah, and
cool rewards.
By the way, something to keep in mind. This may or may not be a look at the level of detail Warzone Ranked play will be getting. Yeah. We will probably, in fact, likely have a very similar structure for Warzone Ranked in Season 3. It'll have ranks, and they will work the same way, including all the cosmetic rewards and shit. It'll have skill divisions. It'll have the top 250 leaderboard, all that good shit. And that would be awesome. That would be super fucking cool. And that'll get a ton of people playing the fuck out of Ranked Warzone.
Yeah.
If it's this like robust.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect way to do ranked play. And all these rewards and like icons and shit. That's what people need these days. And it's really, really cool. This is excellently done. I don't think it could be done better, ranked play, honestly. Like in terms of rewards and like skill rating and all that shit. I actually don't think it could be done better. So this is really, really, really fucking cool. And if this is how Warzone 2 ranked is going to look, that's going to be fucking fantastic. That'll be really, really fucking cool, provided the game is good, which we'll see. But we have a whole ass season for some more weapon balancing and movement changes maybe and shit like that. So we'll see. But yeah, great look there.
So then moving on here, just some other random things I found on Twitter before we started. Raven they delayed the launch of private matches while they investigate an issue. Lucky tweeted at them, Lucky Shamu. He said, "Can you launch it for Ashika Island when you bring it back?" And they did confirm, and not right away, but it's planned for a later season. So cool. We get the new Resurgence map.
At the earliest season
but
3.
We won't even have that in private matches until maybe next season.
Yeah.
From there, I wonder how hard that is from their perspective. You would think it would be as simple as adding it to private matches. It's so weird that they can't just add it in when they put the map in. I'll never understand.
If anything, you
like
do that first, by the way. Who's playing private matches? Well, again, it's for the orgs. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
It's dumb. But yeah, there you go.
Yep. Then there's some other random tweets that Charlie Intel was popping off. There was a call, I guess they had yesterday, I think, with the devs. I kind of just highlighted some of the big ones. They said Infinity Ward teased that some sort of one-shot sniper rifle mode is coming to the game. They have stated they are not currently planning to make it one-shot for all modes.
Is the game referring to multi or Warzone?
I would assume Warzone, since most of the snipers, or all the snipers, do one-shot in multi.
Yeah.
So it's like they're making a mode because they're like people... The snipers? Yeah, they do. They all have to at least one shot to the head.
Oh, to the head, yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's one shot. They don't one shot at all in Warzone. Do fully plated.
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
So I wonder if that's their way of like, oh, everyone's bitching about the snipers. We're gonna make like some sort of like snipers LTM where they all like one shot to the head or something weird. It's like snipers only. I don't know. Could be a fun LTM, but it's an LTM, so it won't matter.
It would be an LTM best case. Yeah, like
yeah.
At most, it would be an LTM. So yeah, that doesn't really matter.
And so they did, as I said, state they're not planning to make it one shot for all modes. But again, they've said that recently. They've said that about perk packages. They didn't want people to edit their perks.
Plating.
There are a lot of things they've already gone back on their word because they've lost a little bit of cash recently. So we'll see. But as of now, there are no plans to make one-shot snipers. Infinity Ward said during a call last week they had a prototype of a gulag where every player is thrown into a mosh pit to fight. And if one player opened a certain door, all players would respawn back in automatically. They decided against using this in-game, though. Wow, I wonder why.
These are the devs.
The least amount of brain cells being rubbed together to come up with ideas. That is such an insane thought. That is a Ted Timmy Timmons late night thought right there. I mean,
that's a Ted Timmons shower thought.
That is like a Mario Party idea right there. What are we doing? That is that sentence right there. I lost my mind. I was like, huh? The fuck does that even mean? If some guy opens a door, everyone respawns. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Cool. That's insane. So luckily that's not in the game, yeah.
Yeah, and moving on, Charlie Intel said, Infinity Ward stated that with Warzone 1, they ended up giving players loadouts so early in the game, drop in, loot cash, get loadouts, that it made looting less valuable overall. They wanted to slow it down in Warzone 2, but everyone liked the loadout, so they changed it back. Yeah, because that's the only thing that makes your BR different. Yes. If you have no loadouts, then your BR is easily the worst one on the market because you guys can't put good ground loot weapons on in the floor. You just put trash guns usually. So of course that's the case. Yeah. We can't trust you guys to do anything, so we want to use our own guns. That, I don't know, just another insane thought that they had. It's like, yeah, we know people liked Warzone 1 for this reason, so let's change it. Because we want to slow it down. Holy shit.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't know that's why people liked Warzone 1. Because they don't play their own game and they're out of touch. Mm-hmm. That's why they thought that it might be a good idea to completely restrict loadouts and make them so fucking hard to come by early on in Warzone 2. Because they're out of touch and they don't realize that the differentiator and what made Warzone popular was the loadouts. Because if they knew that already, they would have never done what they did, and we wouldn't be in this position reverting like we are now.
Yep.
So it's good we're getting the reversions, and it's good that they finally see that. But how out of touch do you have to be to not recognize that loadouts are what separate Warzone from every other BR, like you just said? Which, by the way, you and I were saying maybe a month or two after Warzone came out. Because when Warzone first launched, we said we didn't like loadouts. And then in like a month or two, we changed our minds and we're like, you know what? Loadouts are actually cool because that's what makes this like different from every other BR. Like years ago, we figured this out. And Infinity Ward didn't figure it out until they looked at their fucking player numbers just spiraling downward. So they're out of touch as fuck and they need consultants and they need to do more of these calls. But we're getting the change now, so there you go. No surprise.
Yeah, and then what else? They'd all stated that they thought 2v2 was super interesting, but the randomness of matchmaking causes every player's experience to be very different, so it hurt players who were good teamed up with bad players. Yeah, that like...
No shit!
That should have been apparent immediately, you know?
No shit.
Yeah, I ended up not caring too much about the 2v2 gulag. It just always came down to you would never even find a match halfway through, and then you'd just be put back in the game anyways. That, I think, ended up being the biggest fault.
Well, my teammate not loading in and it being a 1v2 was annoying. It was all bad. I mean, yeah, that was bad too. The whole thing, it was just a terrible idea. How did they not realize that the randomness of matchmaking is going to hurt people if you do a 2v2 gulag? Duh!
Yeah.
Duh! What the fuck else were you trying to do? If not that. That's insane. They're so out of touch. But whatever. Anyway. Any other tweets that piss me off?
No, I don't
Good.
think so.
I'm done. So
You pissed off. man.
Patreon.com/thedropshot. Bonus eps, ad-free eps, early access eps. We'll have some Patreon content coming up shortly. If you wanted to support the show, if you wanted bonus content, and if you wanted the show without ads and early, once again, patreon.com/thedropshot is the best way to support the show. For you Damascus patrons, reminder, hang out this Friday. If you join the Discord, look at the events tab in the top left. You will see all of our live streams and all of our hangouts and shit scheduled there, auto-updated to your time zone. So make sure you join the fucking Discord and utilize that feature every week. It's updated every Monday. And also, don't forget Blowout merch sale. Go to thedropshot.com/store, or you can just go to the website and click on the store button. And every single item in our store is 50% off. We've got t-shirts, hoodies. I don't know if we have any other glassware, shot glasses or anything.
No, we've been out of those for a long ass time.
Yeah, alcoholics. But yeah, Blowout merch sale. We have a lot of good quality merch. We just ordered too much of it. So maybe you're a new listener. You didn't know we had merch. We do. Go to thedropshot.com/store. Use promo code BLOWOUT, one word, and you will get 50% off your entire order. We will be losing money on these, but we're losing even more by letting them sit in Tanner's garage. So there you go. Stay humble.
Sample.